Activision Blizzard stuff winding down, we are getting more information around those deals that Microsoft was giving out for Call of Duty. And apparently with Nintendo, theirs may actually extend to other Activision franchises. We'll talk about that though here today. Also, we are going to be taking a look at those new Game Pass tiers that Microsoft introduced, as there seems to be some confusion going around, especially with one tier in particular. And we'll also be discussing that all digital future that continues to inch closer and closer, as now one large retail chain has decided to just stop selling physical video games altogether. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like button, helps out a ton. And if new here to the Spawn Wave channel, make sure you subscribe down below. And we're going to start today with a bunch of older retro titles just heading to the Xbox this week. And we can see this posted up over on antstream.com, where they have over 1,300 classic games, 600 minigame challenges, and you can see all the different systems that they're supporting, with Game Boy games being in there, Atari, Jaguar, PS1. There's a lot of stuff from the old days, the 80s and the 90s, what have you. But they have a 12-month pass and a lifetime pass. So the 12-month pass, $30, lifetime pass being $80. There is one very important thing to note here, though, before you decide to buy into this. It's called Antstream for a reason, because it is cloud-based, as in you're streaming all of these games. Now, I saw RGT did a video kind of showcasing it in action, and well, for him, it was a whole thing just to get him to plug in an Ethernet cable to his Xbox, so we would get a better connection for him when playing different games online. So this working for him through Wi-Fi, at least as well as he showed in his video, I mean, that is at least a confidence boost to the platform itself. But it is heading to the Xbox this week on July 20th. Check it out if you don't mind the cloud streaming aspect and you want access to a bunch of older titles. Also, we did have
Hello. Okay, we're good. Alright, let's get back to this shit. Yeah, I was like, wait, what? I'm like, am I tripping?
a bit of a surprising announcement, as this is for a Sonic game that was specifically designed for the Xbox 360 Kinect. Take a look at this. This is a video posted up on YouTube announcing this, as it appears there's a Sonic Freeriders No Kinect patch, which is exactly what it sounds like. It removes the requirement for that Kinect. This is released version 1.0 and is just available to download through the Google Drive link that they have in the description there. I haven't had a chance to try this, but I will admit, I never really played Sonic Freeriders, and a lot of that had to do with the Kinect just being a requirement, me kind of falling out of it after the initial appeal of it, and like the awe factor of, oh, I don't need a controller, and then it quickly sinks in that it's not a very accurate device to use. So when you get games like Sonic Freeriders kind of linked to it, it's unfortunately just kind of passes you by. And
you guys really play Sonic these days? I don't know if I do. I like Sonic, but my son loves Sonic.
In this case, though, removing that requirement means you can actually emulate this on your PC, because Xbox 360 emulators have continued to progress to actually pretty good now. So yeah, you get the game however you can, and then you apply the patch, and yeah, you can just play it with a controller. So interesting stuff. Definitely a Sonic game I missed out on, and maybe it's worth a look now that I don't need that Kinect. Oh, and here's another interesting bit of news that has to do with the Xbox 360 generation. As we mentioned that the Call of Duty servers were coming back on, well, apparently that affected the Shadowrun community. Yeah, Shadowrun, the game from the Xbox 360, right? Like the PvP kind of Overwatch game right before Overwatch. Well, it turns out that it's actually better now than it was previously, because Microsoft fixed it. Yeah, take a look at this. This posted up over on Video Gamer, who says, to many people's surprise, Microsoft not only fixed the issue, but Monkey also noted that the servers actually kind of works better than it has ever worked in the history of the game.
Oh shit, they figured it out.
Being up before the fix, matches used to take over 30 seconds to be found, but after the revival of the game servers, Monkey noted that this now takes around 3 seconds. So there you have it. The Call of Duty servers are back up and functioning on Xbox 360. Same with Shadowrun, and Shadowrun is also backwards compatible, similar to those Call of Duty games. So yeah, you can pop in these different titles right to your Xbox Series, or I guess go on the store and pick them up and start playing like it's the old days of the Xbox 360. And guys, with some of the quick news out of the way, let's get into the bigger stuff. Let's start right away with Call of Duty, Microsoft, and Nintendo. We know that there was a deal put in place because Microsoft was announcing these deals all over the place. Obviously, they were trying to get these out into the public eye.
All I have to say is F Call of Duty. Go Nick Merckx.
So it looked like they were trying their hardest to bring Call of Duty to as many people as possible to get the deal past regulators. And, well, it seems like they were successful, and I'm sure this played a part into it, especially with NVIDIA and the cloud side of things, them making that deal. But Nintendo did get a 10-year Call of Duty agreement. Well, it turns out maybe it extends beyond Call of Duty. This we can see posted up by Xputer, who points this out in some of the filings that were made public with the FTC during all those hearings that were going on, where they say Nintendo has a contractual right to obtain Activision content post-merger, including Call of Duty, as mentioned in the pages 74 and 120. Now, I will admit, looking at this, it does appear that, wait, does that mean that Nintendo's going to get everything from Activision? Past and present and future? Well, it's pretty vague in the way that it's worded here, as they are kind of referring to a contract that we can't look at line by line necessarily. Some of those terms are redacted, and there were at times entire pages that were completely blanked out, and I'm sure it was referring to more specific details in those contractual agreements. But in this case, it does kind of sound like, yeah, you could see a lot of those titles head to the Switch or Nintendo's next system. I will say, though, it's possible what this really means is, yes, Nintendo is absolutely getting Call of Duty, and there is basically a lane of communication and window open for other games going forward on a case-by-case basis, as in Microsoft is saying, we're not going to lock off all these other games from the potential of being on Nintendo's platform just because we now own Activision Blizzard. We've seen Microsoft actually take full advantage of the Switch with some of their releases like a Minecraft, where it actually makes more money on the Switch than it does on the Xbox. So in that case, if you're Microsoft, yeah, maybe you do want to put a new Spyro game on the Switch as well as the Xbox. Maybe.
Oh my god. Spyro would be awesome. Ever since, who took over Spyro? Wasn't it Insomniac Games at first? It was Insomniac, or I think it was Naughty Dog. So the same people that made Crash. And then whoever bought Spyro to make the third game just totally ruined it.
Maybe a new Crash Bandicoot. Maybe Tony Hawk Pro.
See? Crash
Skater. These are all games that I would
they already have Crash on the Switch, though.
Like to see happen, but obviously their big focus first and foremost is
Wait, they have Spyro on the Switch too? What the fuck am I talking about? I have both of those games on the Switch.
Call of Duty, and that is already agreed to be
I just forgot because I don't even play it anymore. It's just graphics are so horrible.
Going to not only the Switch, but Nintendo's next platform. In fact, it was specifically talked about here, which we can see the other passage that was pointed out, where they say Xbox has also contractually agreed to provide a version of Call of Duty to Nintendo for its Switch console and its upcoming console upgrade, which, I mean, Microsoft believes that's coming in 2024. All of us believe it's coming in 2024, but we still need to see Nintendo because they like to throw curveballs now and then. But the good thing about this is it's specifically pointing out the current Switch and Nintendo's next platform. There were questions about that, but Nintendo has that 125 million or so user base right now, and that was quoted by Microsoft when trying to convince regulators that this deal should pass because they'd be bringing Call of Duty to 125 million potential new customers on the Switch. So they can't necessarily then go, oh no, we're not doing any kind of Call of Duty there. We're just going to the next platform because, well, that's going to technically start at 0 whenever Nintendo launches it. Either way, this is certainly something to keep an eye on, especially on the build-up to Nintendo's next system release, which again, we're all kind of thinking 2024. I believe holiday 2024 is most likely, and maybe there'll be some other Activision games there next to Call of Duty. We'll see. Next up, let's talk about Microsoft and kind of a change when it comes to Xbox Live and Game Pass. Xbox Live is being retired officially on September 1st, which is really an end of an era. I mean, that was back on the original Xbox, leading all the way up to 2023, so about 21 years or so of that branding with Xbox Live. But now it's all about Game Pass, and it does make sense for Microsoft to try to consolidate all of these brandings and subscription services together under one umbrella, as Game Pass is their primary focus. However, they introduced it, talked about how they were going to transition Xbox Live Gold members over to this Game Pass core model, which means your subscription fee wouldn't necessarily change if you're updating yearly with that $60 price, but you would be getting access to much better games than what they've been doing with games with Gold, which, I mean, we just made fun of basically here every single month because it was that bad. But like, here example is the list of games, if you missed it, that you will get access to when they do indeed shift over, which on September 14th, Xbox Live Gold members will automatically become Game Pass core members, all right? So you'll have access to, Dishonored 2, Doom Eternal, Fable Anniversary, Gears 5, that's a good one, Halo 5, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Inside, Psychonauts 2, State of Decay 2. So, I mean, there's some good stuff in there, right? But the thing that really seemed to throw people through a loop is when we got down to some of the tiers and comparisons where they have the different plans. They have 4 different tiers, which includes Core, Console, PC, and Ultimate. The one that's throwing people off is Console. So you see Core, it has online console multiplayer and that catalog of 25 games, whereas Console has new games on day one, member deals and discounts, sure, and then hundreds of high-quality games on Console. Basically, Console is just Game Pass without the online play. PC, well, they can't charge for online play, but you do get the EA Play membership. And then Ultimate is everything else, right? Online play, EA Play, new games day one, deals, discounts, hundreds of high-quality games, PC, cloud, all this, right? So it's weird because Console is $1 more than Core, but does not have online multiplayer. And the way I look at this is what Microsoft wants you to do is go from Core to Ultimate. They don't want you to go from Core to Console. In fact, they want you to go Console to Ultimate as well. That's their main goal, is to get everyone up to paying $16.99 a month for all these different benefits. And technically, if you're someone who mostly just plays free-to-play games online, and then you also want to have access to the Game Pass library for some of the single-player stuff, or even just playing these heavily focused on multiplayer games offline, I guess, as long as you have that kind of mode, then yeah, that would probably work for you. But I think we are to a point where the idea of paying for online on these consoles is kind of archaic now. I mean, at the time when it first came up during the original Xbox era and Microsoft was trying to push that, it made sense for the time, I'll say, because of the cost it took to get Xbox Live off the ground in the background with all the servers and everything they were doing there. But now it's to the point where there are so many people online playing these different games, and these companies are making a ton of money from things just outside of you paying your pass to get online. I don't really think they need it anymore, especially when you make the comparison to PC. It's tough then, because the console players are paying to play online, whereas on PC, you don't do that. So I think it would be a really cool thing to see Microsoft set the tone once again and just eliminate the need to pay to play online, because then there'd be a lot of pressure on Nintendo and Sony, which would be kind of funny on Nintendo's part because they just started charging for online with the Switch generation. But that's just what I'd like to see. However, I understand the confusion though. Core, cheaper than console, but you can play online, whereas you can't with console. It is a weird looking chart with the features attached to it. Next up, let's talk about an update when it comes to the CMA and Microsoft. They were trying to work all of this out in court once again yesterday, and it hasn't necessarily gotten to a point where it seems that Microsoft will be closing today, although some people still kind of believe they will. We'll see obviously by the end of today, but take a look. This posted up by The Verge, who was following all of this during the CMA hearing very, very closely, where they say the UK's Competition Appeal Tribunal has agreed with some requirements that need to be satisfied on Thursday to pause Microsoft's appeal of the CMA decision to block the Activision Blizzard merger. Both the CMA and Microsoft requested this last week to allow them to negotiate over
Crazy, huh?
a cloud gaming deal. The CMA has also extended the date for its final order from July 18th to August 29th, so it's likely that Microsoft's deal will tick past the July 18th deadline and could see a temporary extension. So it does appear that Microsoft and the CMA are attempting to negotiate this a bit more to close the deal with basically everyone approving it. And we know the CMA's big hangup is the cloud, and Microsoft does at least seem willing to work that end
I'm
out
not
by
playing
even
Call of Duty.
spinning
Fucking
off the rights for cloud gaming in the UK specifically.
Tours on
to
YouTube.
another
Everything is
company,
going well.
but something like that does take time, and unfortunately, they're up against it with that deadline being today with Activision Blizzard. However, at this point, it wouldn't be shocking that Activision would go, oh wow, they overcame the FTC, the EU's approved it, all these other regulators across the world have approved it, it's just the CMA, and even they appear like, okay, let's get this worked out. Even the judge was saying, look guys, this is going to go through seemingly. Let's work this out so it's amicable at the end and everyone can walk away feeling like they basically won, right? So that's kind of where they are now, and it seems that while that next date is set up for August 29th, that they are planning to get this thing done much sooner than that. So I'm thinking that there's gonna be a temporary extension that could go 1 to 2 weeks, and then maybe we get more information about them amicably coming to an agreement, and then Microsoft closed the deal with everyone approving it across the board. But there's...
Did you guys hear too? The lady at the FTC, she wasn't even a lawyer. The congressional hearings they had with the FCC, the lady who runs the FCC, doesn't even have her lawyer's license. She lied about it, and she hasn't renewed it since COVID started. She's a lying piece of shit.
Believe it or not, one other hang up, and this is kind of a funny one. You can see this posted up by Stephen Totila, who did notice this, saying on Friday the 9th Circuit of Appeals denied the request by the plaintiffs in the so-called gamer suit to get an injunction to block the Activision Microsoft deal. They're now appealing that ruling to the Supreme Court. You read that right, though, the gamer suit, as there is a collection.
Probably not going to go through either. They're going to look at that chick's license and be like, you still haven't got your license done. Go freaking do what you're supposed to do to be a lawyer. My freaking spouse is a lawyer. You have to renew that shit like every other year. It's insane. And you have to continue your pursuit of education constantly.
Collection of gamers who apparently are opposing this deal, which, I mean, technically they can, and they've just been shot down constantly throughout this entire thing, and I guess they're spending the money to appeal to the Supreme Court. I don't really see that going their way either, so I wouldn't pay this much attention to it. I mean, people were asking, oh, is this the FTC doing it? No, it's the gamers suit. People coming together to try to oppose Microsoft. So I
Screw the gamers.
I don't really think this is going to get very far. I don't think it's going to really do much in terms of the Supreme Court coming in and blocking this deal or anything. I believe once they work it out with the CMA, this thing will close, and hopefully that's all done by like the first or second week of August, and
how many papers
we can
is it?
Finally have this saga come to an end with Activision Blizzard and Microsoft. Okay. And then our last bit of
news.
Right now. Let's talk about that all-digital future once again. It comes up from time to time when things are happening that make me think we're getting closer and closer to that being an all-digital present. And this latest news shows a larger retail store seemingly just done selling physical copies of games. And the reasoning is what you would expect. We can see this posted up by gamesindustry.biz, saying that the UK supermarket chain Tesco will no longer stock physical video games in its 2,800 stores. The reasoning? Well, it's the move from its customers towards digital entertainment. This also follows the news that GameStop Ireland has closed all of its 35 stores, operated 8 stores in Dublin, 6 in Cork, and 3 in Limerick. Okay, so it's interesting because we know that the hardware manufacturers, specifically Sony and Microsoft, are working to push more and more people towards their services like Game Pass or PlayStation Plus, or just shopping on their digital storefronts. they have systems out there that don't have disk drives. Like, they obviously are selling you that with them in mind of, oh, you're not going to go out to a retail store to get your game. Then on the other side, we have retailers who are probably realizing that their video game section is less and less of a draw every single year. That's one of the big reasons these stores have these video game sections. It's not because they make a ton of money from it, because I'll tell you now, the margins on new games, very, very slim. I remember at one point we were ordering new copies of games, $53.50 after shipping, and we were selling.
Bruh, get it from Amazon. They're cheap. Through freaking Amazon had their Prime Day sale. You can get all the Nintendo games like Super Mario Odyssey, Smash Bros, Mario Kart 8, freaking. I should have got some of them, but I'm just like, I don't care anymore. I'm waiting until the new system comes out. Even Tears of the Kingdom was on sale. Shit was $70. Shit was down to like 50. And then, like all the rest of the, the mainstream Nintendo games, they were down to like $30-$40 just for Prime Day.
Them for $60. So you can kind of realize, oh wow, there's like $6 of margin on there, and you get into the cost of employees, all kinds of stuff around it. It was barely worth keeping new games in stock unless you would get trade-ins on them, and that's how you would make the money there. Much higher margin on a used game versus a new game. But in this case, the reason for having them in these stores was to draw people in, and maybe they would buy other things that have higher margins. But the more people stay at home, whether it's because of the pandemic or because of what's happening with these digital systems, well, there's less and less people heading out to these stores to pick up games, and, well, that means there's less and less reason to keep them around, considering a lot of these companies will look at square footage as like each square foot is worth a certain dollar amount because they have to monetize for it to make sense, especially with that large store. So I'm actually not surprised to hear that a chain of 2,800 stores is like, nah, we're good on our video game section going forward. We'll just sell those little cards that we can kind of hang up at checkout, and maybe we'll get a couple of impulse buys here and there on that stuff, right? It doesn't take up any major floor space. So that's something I would definitely be keeping an eye on here, because it wouldn't shock me if in a couple of years we hear about something similar from maybe a big chain in the States, like maybe a Target or a Walmart or something, because even those video game sections look sadder and sadder every time I go there. They're barely ever kept up or stocked as it is. So we'll see. But again, something tells me 2028 rolls around, we're talking about the PlayStation 6 and whatever Microsoft calls their next Xbox, and they're revealed to not have disk drives, and we realize, oh wait, we are in the all-digital present. And before we go to the comment of the day, we're gonna take a look at the poll that I posted up yesterday, where I asked, what are you currently subscribed to on Xbox or PC? All right, so 57% are just not subscribed to any of these, but 35% are, hey, they are subscribed to Game Pass Ultimate, 3% on Xbox Live Gold, who will basically be thrown into that Game Pass in general there, and then Game Pass PC having 4%. All right, so I was really curious what Xbox Live Gold looked like right now, as, again, those are being converted to Core, and Microsoft, their big play clearly is to continue to stack up Game Pass subscriptions. I've been wondering when they're going to announce what their next big number is, and it's been a little while since we heard, what, like 25 million or so, I believe. So I'd like to see them show up with a number closer to 40 million in the next year, but we'll see. It has been a bit of a struggle for them to continue climbing those numbers, but when you get Call of Duty, Activision Blizzard, all of that happening, it should work to accelerate their Game Pass subscriber growth. So I guess we'll see over the next 12 months or so. And we'll finish up with the comment of the day, as you're seeing here. This is from the One Con saying, as a former Samsung 7 owner, I am all for that replaceable battery rule. I imagine if that rule was in place then, instead of recalling the whole phone, they probably just would have recalled the battery and or sent out replacement batteries. Still a costly endeavor, but likely not as costly as replacing the whole phone. What a fiasco that was. You know, it is interesting now to think about how a lot of these phones, tablets, game systems, mini PCs, the battery is sealed, like it's inside. You're not getting it out of there. There's no door just to pop off and the battery comes out. A lot of times they're glued to the frame. So most users are not going to just rip the battery out at all. Even if you get it open, it's a whole thing
Oh,
there.
that's the same thing.
So in
Yeah,
some
I was like,
ways,
what the
the
fuck?
battery life
Once
is
you put the
tied to
fucking
the overall
container back in
system
the
life.
refrigerator
And
empty. I was like,
batteries
what the
can only
fuck?
charge, recharge, all that so many times
Like, what are you,
before
fucking stupid?
they don't really work well anymore. And that means people would just recycle or throw out their phone and get a new one, and it caused a lot of waste. And that's
I
one of the
just
big
don't even
reasons that I've seen
care.
that this regulation is being presented and pushed out there, is to stop people from just throwing away their perfectly good phone or electronic because the battery that's stuck in there just stopped working over time, but it should be easily replaceable. So
Yeah,
I
that's
like
why I
the
told
idea
Ruby so she can
of
make
just
her do
putting
it. So she
more
gets up,
power
she's up all
back
night.
in the
I had to make her
consumer's
shut off
hands
the
because
phone.
these electronics
she
aren't
was up
cheap.
talking
You
to
should
her
have
about
access
the
to
dad
something as
shit.
basic as the battery. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it here
What?
for Newswave. If you enjoyed this
She
video,
did, but
guys,
she was-
hit that like
she
button. If
still
not,
had
hit the
people,
dislike.
like,
Leave comments
you know,
down
just
below about
texting and
everything
stuff.
we talked about here today. Was Nintendo's deal with Microsoft seemingly extending past Call of Duty. What big franchise do you think will show up
I can't
on
do much
either the
controller,
Switch now
so-
or maybe the next generation system from Nintendo with Activision? Also, what about the whole situation right now with Xbox and these Game Pass tiers? I think it's weird
had her do
that they
yesterday
introduced
for all the
core
apps
being
and stuff, so
cheaper
that's gonna have to be the
than
whole thing.
console, but core you
Make her
can
take the
play
phone.
online. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.
It wasn't apps, it's her fucking walking around on speakerphone with people talking to her. And she's in, like, you guys have that air thing blowing in your room. I hear door shut, door open, door shut, like, on constant.
I went to get you an AC unit so you can have white
No,
noise.
it's not the point. Like, she doesn't need to be fucking up all night. She's 12 years old.
I know. It's
Like, I
insane.
did this shit when I was a teenager.
I know.
Video games have long been known for hiding some of the best secrets in the weirdest places. Sometimes some lore here, sometimes a totally random thing there. We've had some pretty good ones this year, at least so far. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, the 10 best secrets and Easter eggs of the first half of 2023. Starting off with number 10, it's Star Wars Jedi Survivor's Hidden Art class. Jedi Survivor's a pretty straight-laced game most of the time. If you just stick to the story, there's not a lot about it that sticks out, at least in terms of Easter eggs, but for people who want to explore, there is some interesting stuff to discover. My personal favorite isn't actually that hard to find if you know where to look. Near Rambler's Reach, there's a distinct cave that hides a secret. You really have to know exactly where to look, but if you hug the walls, you can find the secret crawl space that just really, it goes on a long time. It keeps going and going and going and going. It takes so long, it kind of feels like the game might have bugged.
Alright, let's see what we got next.
It appears that Disney really is interested in taking all of its great old IP and absolutely destroying it. The latest example is their casting with regard to Snow White. They have now decided that apparently every redhead in the Disney universe will be recast as a racially diverse person. And this is how, for example, The Little Mermaid ended up as a person of color. It's something that somebody noticed. It's basically, if you're a redhead in Disney universe, then they'll recast you. But now they're recasting everyone. So they've cast Snow White. Snow White is now going to be played by Rachel Zegler. Okay, now, Rachel Zegler, you may know, again, her name is Snow White. Now, you might consider that racist, but that's also the name of the actual fairy tale. And in the actual fairy tale, it says skin, I mean, this is from the original 1936 Snow White. Skin as white as snow, right? That is literally in her name. That's why she has her name. So I guess just to like screw with people, they're casting, Rachel Zegler is a very talented person. I'm just, it's weird casting, you might say, right? Like, I don't understand. There's certain parts that are racially specific. I mean, very clearly so. Right? They're not going to cast Tiana from the Frog Prince, the princess, whatever it is. They're not going to recast Tiana as a white lady. They're not going to, even though you certainly could, but they're not going to. And we all know why, of course. Well, Snow White is like maybe the only racially specific white princess because it's in the name. And it's not like greatly evil if a person is cast as what the part is. It's very strange to me that if you cast Alexander Hamilton as a black person, that's totally fine. But if you cast Martin Luther King as a white person, that is totally unacceptable. Maybe you should cast people as like what the description of the part is. There are certain parts where the person is described as white. And that's okay. That's not like the end of the world. So you have to be racially blind when it comes to a person who is cast for white physical descriptors. But you have to be racially diverse for everybody else, is the way that this works. It's a weird take. It's definitely a weird take. So she is, I believe, Colombian American is Rachel Zegler, and She is, her father is of Polish descent. Her mom is from Colombia, or her maternal grandmother came from Colombia in the 1960s. So in the new Snow White is what people in the Democratic Party would call brown, right? I mean, like, because people of color, they're brown people. Like, this is what they would call it. She would be categorized in the census as non-white, according to the Democratic Party, playing Snow White. Okay? That's not the weird part. That's not. The weird part is the dwarves. So you may have realized that Snow White and the Seven Dwarves has dwarves, right? Because, like, they're dwarves, and that's, like, what they are. And one of the most characteristic things about the dwarves in Snow White and the Seven Dwarves is that they are short because they are dwarves. Well, we have decided that this is very, very insulting. And so the Seven Dwarves, so it's 6 racially diverse tall people and 1 person who is a little person, is my understanding. All of this, so one of the dwarves is also a woman. So that's again, makes for a very weird dynamic because as
Hello.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Hey, just leaving Lopez. You do a warranty service request. I a really strange problem. So basically, you're gonna write it up as spillway not responding. Spillway actuator. How can we do it? Even Jason helped me with this. Said he's gonna run into this problem before. Usually a programming problem, but he checked out my programming and it's right. But it's not. So the issue is that the actuator is working, right? It rotates when you toggle it. It rotates when you put it in fall mode.
Yeah.
But it doesn't respond when you hit spillway mode for some reason. Which doesn't even make much sense. It makes it feel like you're forgetting something of what it could be, but I don't know what it could be. So
Toggle. So it doesn't respond when you toggle it on the board and on the Wi-Fi.
on the board and the Wi-Fi, that's correct. On the app and the board, when you do it manually, like through the menu.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, mention that for sure.
And then is that it? Is there anything else to tag on it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'll go ahead and send that out right now.
Thank you.
No problem. Where are you headed next?
I'm headed to Mirror right now.
Fun. You got your drain stuff to drain it?
Yep, I got all my joints. That's 1217 BTA.
Okie dokie. Let me know how that goes, and I'll send this out right now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Bye. Oh, time for some work.
as you recall from the original Snow White and the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, as you recall from the original, they all live in one room together. So that's
Yeah,
that's
they all live in one
definitely
room,
weird.
So
This is
they're minors, remember? Hi.
Let's talk about the fact that life issues still matter in the country. Roe versus Wade was overturned, and still tens of thousands of babies are going to be snuffed out this year. You can help stop all of that thanks to our friends over at Preborn's network of clinics. Preborn is the largest provider of free ultrasounds in the United States. They offer love, support, and compassion to hurting women, helping them make the right choice. By letting a mom see and hear her baby on ultrasound, the child's chance at life is doubled. Preborn clinics provide moms who choose life with maternity and baby clothes, diapers, cars, seats, counseling, and much more. Polluted air in your day-to-day life, because the truth is, your and your family's health might be affected by.
Abortion's totally fine, as long as you're not doing it in a bunch. You're getting pregnant every other fucking week. It's fucked up, but you know, some circumstances, you gotta do it, or you know, just it's a really hard decision. I almost had to do that once, so I can only say so much. But now that I have my son, I love him. And, you know, it's not for all parents. Some parents can't afford to even take care of their kids, and they have to put them up for adoption. Just so many kids that need to be put up for adoption. Sucks.
By the air quality in your home. Allergens and germs flow to the Peter.com. Currently, this is all because of Peter Dinklage, the guy from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
At one point was like, they're casting a racially diverse Snow White, but you're still telling the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. You're still making that effing backward story about 7 dwarves living in a cave together. First of all, they're the heroes of the story, you'll recall. And then Disney said it was taking a different approach to avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original. Why is that a stereotype? What if they're just dwarves in the story? I don't understand. Like that, it's so strange that you would think that way. I mean, truly, that's a strange thing. The heroes of the story are the dwarves in Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. The prince isn't even useful in the story. Right? The prince arrives at the very end and kisses Snow White and wakes her up. He didn't do anything about the witch. It's the dwarves who do something about the witch. And they're like, you know what? We can't have dwarves doing that. It has to be racially diverse tall people, including apparently, let's see that picture again. I mean, I just have to describe this for folks who can't actually see the picture. So let me describe the members of the dwarf community in the new live action Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You have one guy who looks like a member of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs because he's actually, you know, a little person. And then you have Jack Dorsey wearing some sort of like Russian hair covering. Looks like a Portland homeless person. And then you have a black female who came straight from the Brown campus. And then you have a black male. And then you have apparently a member of a very low rent biker gang. A dude with long hair and a beard. And I assume that he is grumpy. You'd have to assume because of his face. And then Carrot Top. And then Gregory Hines. I don't understand the casting. Like, so apparently their goal is to just destroy whatever sense of believability the story has. Yes, it's a fairy tale. You can cast it however you want, but it's literally in the description. It is the most physically descriptive of all titles. Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. So now apparently the title of this movie is Hispanic Person, 6 Large People, and a Little Person. Which seems like a different film to me. It seems like a different story. Hispanic person, 6 large people of racially diverse background, and a little person sounds like a different story than Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. It truly is an astonishing thing. And I'm... Okay, so a few things. One, the live action cannibalization of actual IP.
You just go...
is an amazing thing. Second, the destruction of actual good IP in favor of new crappy IP is something Disney's been doing for a while, and they're doing it with everything. So they'll slap a warning sticker on Aladdin, they'll slap a warning sticker on Snow White, and then the thing that I actually want to show my kid is Aladdin or Snow White. That's the thing they're actually making money off of, and they make these crappy live action versions, and they're like, that's what we really wish Snow White and the Seven Dwarves were Hispanic lady, 6 racially diverse large people, and a little person. That's what we wish the story were. It's like casting Sleeping Beauty as an awake, ugly person. It's like the reverse of what this story is. And by the way, I'm just going to point out here, Disney does this with apparently every piece of content now. I've already told my children who are big Star Wars fans, like original Star Wars fans, that the last 3 movies just don't exist. Because this is what Disney does now, Kathleen Kennedy. What they do is they take all their good IP and they cannibalize it and destroy it in favor of crappy new IP that nobody cares about. Meanwhile, they won't even sell the old IP. If they really didn't like Aladdin or Snow White, they really thought these things were racist, they could put that IP up on the sales block, or they could just take it down entirely from their platform. They won't do that because they understand that what we're actually subscribing to Disney Plus for, if you're still subscribing, is for the old IP. So just slow clap for all the morons in charge of marketing. Because again, you know what would have happened? What would have happened if, for example, they just cast a talented white lady as Snow White and 7 dwarves? You know what would have happened? Nothing. No one would have cared and would have made a lot of money. No one would have cared. But they're so interested in virtue signaling. They're so interested in cramming down on you their version of what the world should be that they are.
Yeah, Bob Iger, get out of the fucking Disney office. No one wants you. $27 million a year, freaking making mother effort.
Destroying their own IP in the process. So good for them. All right. I suppose in a weird way, they're putting their money where their mouth is. All righty, guys. The rest of the show continues right now. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be getting into the mailbag. If you're not a member, become a member. Use code Shapiro. Check out for 2 months free on all annual plans. Click that link in the description and join us.
Sound of Freedom. Definitely the surprise hit of the summer. I had never heard of the film until it came out, and everybody started talking about it. The movie is about very serious topics that I think are nice to see get brought to light. It's a shame that it takes a movie for people to understand just how much of a problem the things this movie talks about is. These are things that people should know about and should be upset about. But it doesn't get a lot of mainstream coverage. I wonder why that is. Talk about these kinds of things like human trafficking, which is a serious, serious thing and is a growing enterprise, by the way. There's probably more people enslaved today than there were 100 years ago, which is disgusting. Now, Sound of Freedom tackles all of these subjects, and it's making big bucks. Big, big bucks. Unfortunately, though, it's getting caught up in controversy, which it really shouldn't be. There should be.
Give me 1 second. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, hi. Is this Seth?
Yeah, how's it going?
Hi, Seth. That's good. I'm to yet?
No.
Okay, good. Don't send it.
So what are you saying though? It's working now?
So it's working now. What happened when I was on with Jason is that it said on the screen it was in full mode, but it must have been small. Like, we had it in small mode on the app, and I know on the display it said and it has temperature, blah blah blah, and everything. So I'm not sure, but Eric told me it was in small mode. He just called me and he asked me if I should take it out of small mode. I said, it's that full mode on the thing. So I didn't understand if it was actually a small mode, that actuator would move. So it's moving now.
Well, you would think, because if it's in spa mode, both of the actuators got to move. If it's in pool mode, then you press spillway, only one actuator moves.
Exactly. You're pushing spillway.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's working as of now. He's gonna let us know if anything changes.
Okie dokie.
And I'm gonna go ahead and charge. I went ahead and replaced that actuator. So I'm gonna charge Mike for that. So I make something else.
For sure. All right. Scarlett says hi. She's not grumpy now.
Okay, alright, thanks.
Bye. Cool.
Anything controversial about this movie? It's a movie that just tells a story about a really messed up situation. But a lot of people are out there calling it a right-wing film and it's outright. It's part of the Q movement. And it's not. This shouldn't be such a big deal, but you've got a lot of people that are very upset about it. And it leads to a lot of stuff like this. This is from Newsweek. Well, this isn't the article, but how Sound of Freedom is performing compared to other movies at the box office. Very well, considering Sound of Freedom only had a $15 million budget. Yeah, $14.5 million.
Oh, cool.
It's now at $85 million. It has made its money back and some. And it's probably going to make more. My prediction for the film, as of a week and a half or so ago, was $100 million. It's looking like it's easily.
I got my pool account open, so now I can go buy shit at the pool warehouse for cheap. Oh, I'm so stoked. Now I don't have to I could put a card on file, and I can just pick up shit. So stoked. Alright, so I guess I'm not sending out the warranty. I'm just chilling. Hello. Only 52 minutes. Alright, let's go.
But it leads to stuff like this from Bloomberg. So this is an article talking about the Bloomberg article. A Bloomberg hit piece targeting anti-child trafficking film Sound of Freedom was penned by an activist who opposed stigmatizing child enthusiasts. Well, that's interesting.
You see that? There's like a big.
That is interesting, isn't it? Here are some of the things that this author has penned. Here's the tweet that is getting destroyed, by the way, from Bloomberg.
But if you want, you guys can listen.
Is Sound of Freedom a dog whistle, or is it just another thriller?
Oh my god, you should hear some of this other crazy crap that's going on too. Apparently, Oprah's been exposed for helping kidnap children or something like that now. She's part of a cult with this trafficking ring. Not obviously proven, but slightly the fact that she's been hanging out with a lot of suspicious people and cult members and stuff like that. And people that have been accused and prosecuted for trafficking people and minors and stuff like that. I don't even know what to fucking believe anymore. It's insane. It's like, first it's covering up everything, then they come out with truth, then there's more cover up, there's more truth. How many lies will there become before there's actual more truth?
And Bartlett
I gotta pee.
saw
Hold
the
up.
movie and has an answer. Oh, his tweets are protected. It's interesting. That's interesting.
I'm right here. Right
Well, a lot of people in here are letting you know some of the things that this person has said, particularly from Andy No here. This person who wrote this Bloomberg opinion piece is a leftist activist. He was the spokesperson for MAP, for the MAP advocacy group. If you don't know what that means, MAP means minor attracted person. He previously tweeted that child enthusiasts are a stigmatized group designated as deviants for hateful purposes. Yes, how everyone needs to look out for the minor attracted people, the real group facing oppression out there. So I'll just go through some of these, and you can see the things this person has written. Here's one. Here is a tweet that person put out. Here's another tweet. Here's another tweet. And you can pause and read these as you like. Here is another thing from Andy No, saying this former advocate wrote this essay about the autonomy of child workers, certain types of workers. He said that most victims of this trafficking are not coerced. Oh, okay. Oh, here's this one. Also something this person wrote. This is the author's profile picture.
Does it look like a
And then there's
pedo?
this massive tweet. Okay.
Did you say young cisgendered? Oh my.
So here's another article. You can read that right there if you would like. Pretty disgusting. And it's funny that when you see these hit pieces come out on this movie and you see the people writing them, you start to understand why they don't like this movie. Problem is, the overwhelmingly majority of people think that these kinds of situations are screwed up and wrong and disgusting. But these people would lead you to believe that the traffickers are the people that are misunderstood. What a world we live in. And that article came from Bloomberg. That's the writer of the article who works for Bloomberg. When you think about it, why this movie is being hated on starts to make a little bit more sense, doesn't it? Anyway.
I
That's
digress.
pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you.
Crazy, wow.
Since the number one.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. I bring you good news from the war in Ukraine today, something I've never said on a show before, but here we go. Ukraine has been denied membership into the little elitist club known as NATO. That's a good thing. That means that we are beginning to see de-escalation in this conflict, and Zelensky is outraged, which is also a good thing, because Zelensky is a persecutor of Christians. He's a torturer of free...
He's a fucking Jew. Really? He fucking doesn't give a shit who's who. He used to be an actor. Benny, what do you know? Tell me what you know before you do this crap. Like, I like your stuff, but bro, you go way too hard on Zelensky. Why don't you go a little bit harder on Putin on the fact that he's I don't even know what to call it. He's a tyrant. He's a tyrant, he's a dictator, and he kills anyone who opposes him. Do you think Zelensky has killed anyone who opposes him? No. He's barely been president for not even 4 years. I know, baby. It's absurd.
Speech and free movement and freedom of the press. He's banned elections in his nation. He is a
Why do you think he doesn't win elections right now? Huh? They're in wartime. Plus, the last person who was elected was someone elected through Russia who was politically... It was a political agenda. They put him up, some other guy up there to run against him. They chased out the guy who was opposing Zelensky because he was he was going to try and have Russia take back Ukraine anyways and give back Crimea and all this other shit. They're like, no, we ain't going to do that. So they chased him out.
teapot dictator who's now big mad that the Biden regime, after funding him $200 per American, is what has gone to Ukraine. $100 billion is what has gone to Ukraine. Boom shakalaka. Here, we have the moment where everyone's finally, hopefully, coming to their senses. It's unprecedented and absurd in a time frame is not set to give Ukraine NATO membership. Well, that's a good thing that we don't have escalation here. I don't want to die in some trench in Ukraine. You don't want to die in some trench in Ukraine. Nobody in Ukraine or Russia wants to die in some trench in Ukraine. This is a good thing. De-escalation is a good thing. You have to give people an off-ramp. There needs to be a ramp given to Zelensky, apparently, even at the NATO summit, however, because he was too short to even see eye to eye with most of the members here standing on stage. You can see these humiliating and degrading photographs that are now popping off on the internet of Zelensky sort of looking on forlorn at this gathering. One of these things is not like the other. It's a big club.
Hey, looks Macron.
And you're not part of it. Yeah,
Everyone
that's
hates
right.
Macron.
I don't like Voldemort Zelensky. I don't like him. This had nothing to do with Ukraine and Russia. I don't like the dude. Look at this guy. Super creepy. Look at this guy. Look what Tucker Carlson said. He's sweaty and rat-like. Come on. How are you supposed to ever trust this guy? Listen to this.
Ukraine, as you may have heard, is led by a man called Zelensky. And we can say for a dead certain fact that he was not involved. He couldn't have been. Zelensky is too decent for terrorism. Now, you see him on television, and it's true you might form a different impression. Sweaty and rat-like, a comedian turned oligarch, a persecutor of Christians, a friend of BlackRock. But
oh no, yes, he's no. He is the most noble and gracious and generous and benevolent leader. He's so gracious and generous that he's canceled the election so that no one can ever run against him. And he's banned the political parties that wish to run against him. And he's banned churches and Christian priests and parishes. That's right. That's how wonderful he is. He's banned free speech and he's shut down publications that write bad things about him. Yeah, he's just everything that you could ever want in a little proxy warrior who clearly didn't get the dress code for this event. When everyone gives you tons of money and you get your kicked so they don't want you in their little club. Yep. What a sweaty little drugged up creep.
Oh my god, you call him drugged up.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. So ungrateful too. Today he's like at a press conference talking
He
about
probably
how
had
grateful
hardly
he
any
is
sleep
for the aid that America has given him. Serious question. Why does this man everywhere he goes wear a military outfit? Does not wear a suit? Because he is an actor and he has to look the part. He is an actor. A bad one at that. When you realize your NATO crush only likes you as a proxy. That's okay. Viktor Orban, one of the greatest leaders in the world, the president of Hungary, he is saying in a statement, we don't want to give any more weapons to Ukraine. We should be bringing peace to Ukraine. Fact check, true. Look at these photos from the NATO summit to understand the extent of Zelensky's popularity. This is the chief of NATO. How about Nair? How about Nair? How about Nair? The memes are starting too. You must be this tall to start World War III. Voldemort Zelensky. Left Behind. NATO bestseller. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Getting ridden. I don't want Russia to win.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like preemptive war. I don't like defensive war. I don't like any war. I don't like any war. I was tricked one time in my life. One time. I was tricked. I was young and I was dumb. And 9/11 happened. And so as a young, dumb kid, I was like, yay, war! Because Saddam or something. No, stupid. And then tens of thousands of my brethren were slain in deserts.
Yeah, look at
for
who's
absolutely no reason. It's wrong.
I like how a person wants to see.
Nuclear.
It's like clearly it says Zelensky.
Zelensky is a sad Kermit meme. Come on, let me join. Zelensky sitting at the table by himself, staring off into the abyss. Yeah. Pablo Escobar. Is it Adam Kinzinger? That's so good. When you don't know anyone at the party, or they don't want to know you. Oh, this is a good one. This is a if you are a supporter of the war in Ukraine, you must see this photo. It is the photo you must see. And this is the clip that you must watch. The most essential clip, probably the clip that got Tucker taken off air in going so hard on the war in Ukraine. War in Ukraine has made a lot of evil people a lot of money. They don't care about Zelensky. They don't care about Ukraine. I'm your best friend, Vlad, Voldemort. I'm your best friend. I'm the best friend you got in this world. Okay, you and your people are the ones suffering. As you prolong this war, it's you who suffer. And these people get rich, and then they laugh in your face and behind your back. I'm the best friend you got on this planet. I'm the one who's actually telling you the truth. You should do everything you can to come to peace and to come to terms and just be done with this. Peace at all costs. That's what I believe. That's also what Tucker Carlson believes when he was actually calling out this from day one. Day one. There's only one man in media that actually called it all out. It was Tucker. Watch this.
The media, the Congress, the White House, they all love this weird little guy called Sam Bankman-Fried. Do you remember that? Somehow we were reminded of it today when the president of Ukraine arrived at the White House dressed like the manager of a strip club and started to demand money. Amazingly, no one threw him out and said they did whatever he wanted. American taxpayers declared Joe Biden will continue to give Zelensky whatever he demands for, quote, as long as it takes.
Bro, Zelensky's probably like, oh my god, Pelosi, please get the fuck out of here.
Do what? Push the Russian army back to pre-invasion borders? Sounds reasonable. That's what most Americans likely assume, those who are still paying attention. But that is not what Zelensky means, and it is not what he is asking for. Zelensky is demanding regime change in Russia, just like in Iraq and Libya and a long list of other failed states, except this time in the heart of the Eurasian landmass, next door to the entire civilized world. That's what Zelensky has called for repeatedly, and every dollar we send to him goes toward that end. And at this point, he's getting a lot closer to achieving it. So what happens if he, quote, wins? What does the ensuing chaos look like? Thought about that? Who's going to secure the world's largest nuclear arsenal once we help Zelensky topple the Russian government? Who replaces Putin? Strangely, those topics did not come up today, because that wasn't the point. The point of today's visit to Washington was not to make the world more stable and realize decisions, much less to help America. That's always at the bottom of the list. The point was to fawn over the Ukrainian strip club manager and hand him billions more dollars from our own crumbling economy. It is hard, in fact, it may be impossible to...
I do agree on the fact that we should not be giving Ukraine all this money. We should just fucking nuke the shit out of Russia. Or just give them the nukes. I don't give a shit. Can't be spending all this money. We have so many homeless people right now. All these homeless people could be fed with all the billions of dollars we spent. And people could be having housing. But then again, anywhere from all the way up from California, all the way up to freaking Washington, and from New York to Philly to freaking a lot of those bigger cities on the East Coast, especially Ohio, Midwest, you know, where I'm from, they have no structure. Only thing I can say about, you know, West Coast is, you know, especially California, is that their prices are through the roof and no one wants to even live there anymore. Everyone's trying to move out of California.
Imagine a more humiliating scenario for the greatest country on earth. And we would love to blame Joe Biden for it, but we can't really, not entirely at least. This was bipartisan masochism. The Uniparty is alive and well, despite the best efforts of voters, including last month.
It's so
and if
beautiful.
you doubt that it's alive and well, here's a picture of Zelensky that he had taken with a group of elderly Republican senators in Kiev back in May. They stand grinning next to him in their orthopedic shoes, 70-year-old Susan Collins, John Barrasso, John Cornyn, led by their 80-year-old ringleader, Mitch McConnell. 44-year-old Zelensky poses between them in a skin-tight polo shirt, flexing like a weightlifter and trying to look ferocious. They seem awestruck.
Bro, it's better to have someone young though. All these old people are horrible.
The disturbing things that are happening in Hollywood that are being brought to light, being brought to the surface, and especially with the entire cultural shakeup that seems to be happening right now. We see films like Sound of Freedom doing absolutely phenomenal in the box office, despite the fact that there are so many elites who are trying to shut down that film. We continue to see all these different things that are happening. We continue to see others who are being arrested, those who are being brought to justice, and more people being exposed within the Hollywood circles. And today, Tom Holland's had some absolutely insane things that he talks about when it comes to Hollywood that we need to get into in this video. So let's go ahead and jump right into this and see what is going on here. Tom Holland says Hollywood really scares me. And as someone who has been in the Hollywood circles ever since he was a young person, it wouldn't surprise me if Tom Holland has seen some pretty messed up things within that place. So let's get into what he has to say here.
I really do not like Hollywood. It is not for me. The business really scares me. I understand that I'm a part of that business and I enjoy my kind of interactions with it. But that said, I am always looking for ways to kind of remove myself from it, to kind of just live as normal a life as possible. Today,
On Purpose, huh? With Amy Schumer. Is that who that is? Who's On Purpose? Jay Shetty? Oh, okay. Okay, so you know.
doing this is a very...
And we're definitely seeing kind of a surge of more of that type of stuff happening from celebrities who are trying to get out of Hollywood. Now, there's various reasons why, of course, but it seems like that some of them just want to get out of that place. They just want to get out of the circles of what Hollywood has become and what Hollywood continues to become, which is basically just a neo-Marxist communist hellhole. And there are a lot of people that are trying to get out of that.
Rare thing for me to do. Yeah, I definitely think I've seen so many people come before me and lose themselves, and I've had friends that I've grown up with that aren't friends of mine anymore because they've lost themselves to this bit.
Tom Holland's a great actor. Don't really like him in Spider-Man though. I like OG Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. Any of you out there?
Business, and I just am really, really keen to focus on what makes me happy, which is my family, it's my friends, it's my carpentry, my golf.
The things that are actually important, you know, the fame isn't really important at the end of the day, okay? The money isn't really important at the end of the day. The things that are important are family, you know, the things that we do with our time, you know, kind of going back to Gandalf and what he had to say to Frodo, you know, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. And so it's very cool to see that Tom Holland here seems to be understanding the dangers of Hollywood and what it could do to him.
The charity that my mum runs, like that is the stuff that makes me really happy, and that's the stuff that I should protect.
Oh no.
My relationship is the thing that I keep most sacred. I don't talk about it. I try my best to keep it as private as possible. We both feel very strongly that that is the healthiest way for us to move on as a couple.
Which is it's still kind of weird to me because we literally know who his girlfriend is. We just got this teaser recently of Zendaya in this film where she has like a weird thing with two guys and stuff. So
you try to keep as removed from it as possible. Like you'll never see me at an award show that I don't have to be at. I'm never going to a red carpet event that I'm not in the film of, you know. I don't want the attention when I don't need it.
Yeah,
I wish more celebrities were like that, you know, people who try to just be normal people, who have normal lives, who don't become these weird freaks that we see so many of these celebrities turn into. And so it's very cool to see, you know. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.
Interesting. The Matrix.
There's an interview between Tucker.
The current strike among Hollywood actors and writers could be just another layer that adds to a struggling and changing media industry, at least that's according to CNBC framing. This is top of investors' minds as earnings seasons tee off this week, starting with Netflix tomorrow. According to analyst Michael Nathanson, the ad-supported option for Netflix and Disney Plus could be one of the few areas that saw growth and concentration this quarter. Disney CEO Bob Iger recently extended his contract with the company through 2026 due to challenges he wants to address, including
No! The baby changed the TV stations. What, cheese puffs? Hey. What? Little baby with the cheese puff.
including the role of Disney TV networks at the company. He said, quote, they may not be core to Disney.
According to Moody's debt analysis Neil Begley, an agreement increasing compensation under new collective bargaining agreements will ultimately cost Moody's rated companies an additional $450 million to $600 million a year for each year of a new 3-year contract for all 3 guilds, DGA, WGA, and CNBC reports that the top Hollywood executive, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav, made $498 million the last 5 years, 384 times as much as the average writer. Joining us now to weigh in on what's going on in the media world is TV producer and writer Blake Masters. Thanks for joining us, Blake.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, what is the current state of the standstill? Is it really the case that we're potentially going to see a strike of both actors and writers for months yet to come?
Yeah, it looks this way. The AMPTP is making no effort to come back to the table to even engage in negotiations.
Oh my god, you guys are gonna see this. This is kind of funny. I don't ever watch Facebook, but what the fuck? Was that like a camera set up over here? Damn. What a freaking short skirt. How does he not notice that? Oh my god, he fell the fuck asleep. Ah.
Dude, no, that's not me, but you should look up, maybe.
Oh my god! That's actually kind of fun.
I think they're gonna get so mad at me. That was her the whole time. So sweet. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Oh my God. Hey, beautiful. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Hold on. Let me call you back.
I'm good. How you doing? What's your name? I'm Damien.
Lauren. You
Lauren?
Call me Lo.
Lo?
Yeah,
Nice to meet you, Lo. I'm Damien.
Nice to meet you.
Where you headed to looking all beautiful?
I'm going out to brunch.
Brunch?
Yeah,
Brunch?
with the girls.
Oh, hey, this is a good day to
Is
hang
it?
out
I've
for
never
brunch.
been out here before. It's my first time.
Oh, in Houston or
Yes.
just?
Yeah, I'm visiting.
Oh, wow. You visited from where?
St. Louis.
Wow.
Mhm.
You on point. You got the right height, tall,
I
beautiful.
love to hear that. Thank
I
you.
mean, I appreciate you stopping talking to me. I mean, I was just out here just kind of just trying to find something to do today. And I seen you walking
Are
down
you
the
busy?
street.
You want to come? We got a whole group. We got a section.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I mean, with you
Yeah.
and eat with you and your girls?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be,
I mean, it's girls and guys, but yeah.
and you wouldn't even be embarrassed
From what?
because how I'm dressed and stuff. And
I worked at McDonald's. Okay.
you worked at McDonald's before? Oh my God. You gotta excuse me because I was totally not expecting this right here.
No, I met honestly some of my best friends from McDonald's. Like honestly, it's a good environment.
That's like
It's
a
really
1 in a
open
million.
to what people say about it.
Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm actually tripping because this was not something I was expecting. I do like experiments. I'll dress with FUBUs on and a McDonald's shirt and hat and stuff just to see like, now most people, especially beautiful women, they would even stop me and even look at me or even give me the time of day, but you stopped, invited me, and like,
That's cool.
That's just crazy. That's never happened before. Are you busy? Like really, like do you got like 5 minutes or something?
Well, yeah, we could talk.
You mind if we sit in the car and talk?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Wow, this is crazy. This never happened. This is actually my Lamborghini right here.
You're lying.
No, actually, it is. This
So
is
do
mine.
you work at McDonald's or?
Be honest with you, I actually own McDonald's. I actually own 3 of them, franchise.
Oh, look at you doing good for yourself.
Yeah, this is really mine. She's probably like, yeah, all right. It's not. Here come the police. No, I'm just kidding.
God.
No,
Don't
it's,
have me running.
no, it's mine. It's mine.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Be careful getting in. Wow, I was not expecting that right there. You comfortable over there? Yeah. It's kind of a tight space.
I'm a little tall.
I don't actually drive this one every day. I actually drive my other one.
So you're just out here testing people?
Well, like I said, it was an experience because like a lot of people like me, like work every day. You know, me wearing this shirt and the McDonald's outfit, you know, being the owner, I don't just bark orders at my employees or watch them work. I'm actually right there with them. And to be honest with you, some of the people at some of the McDonald's I own, they don't even know I actually am the boss.
Oh, like
Because-
the undercover boss show? That's
Yeah, because
awesome.
I just kind of just be normal. I don't act like I'm better than nobody. But this, yes, it was experiments, but this one took me by surprise. You actually literally stopped and talked to me. So tell me about yourself. Like, what do you do?
Oh, so I have 3 jobs actually, but my main
3?
Yes.
Damn.
So I just graduated not too long ago, and I kind of experiencing where I want to live, and I came up here to visit here to see if I wanted to live here.
To eat. I mean, I wish you thank you. Eat, run across, and you have a wonderful day. Okay. There's some very, very genuine people out here. It's all about my children, my bills. I'm gonna make sure I go back to work regardless if I had to work at a restaurant or if I had to become a garbage man. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna just not take care of my responsibilities because of the type of job I have.
That's
man.
pretty cool.
But
I like that.
And I think this goes to a whole bunch of systemic issues that go beyond the entertainment industry in terms of modern business practice and things like that. But it also comes to a fundamental shift in the nature of the entertainment business. I was part of the last strike in 07, 08, and that was a fight about money between 2 people who were in the same business. What's changed is I don't think that the companies and the actors and the writers are actually in the same business anymore. They don't have the same goals and they aren't incentivized in the same ways. And so as a result, until there's a way to bridge that, strike's going to just keep going.
Like, can you unpack that a little bit more? Because when Robbie and I were talking about this yesterday, we had some confusion as to why things have changed so differently, why it is that so many artists are talking about residuals and how it's getting so much of a smaller piece of the pie than it seems they did in years past, and that has something to do with how contracts are structured and the fees are today as compared to how they did back in 2007 during the last strike.
Start with is to talk about, from the company's point of view, the business they want to be in. Maximizing the number of eyeballs that are on every specific piece of content, the ratings on your TV, the great content that would attract the most possible eyeballs to each individual piece. The companies now actually want to be utilities, where you don't care what the quality is of the...
Shit's nuts with Hollywood right now. Do you guys believe that?
The power running through the lines as long as the light switch works. They want a content slurry, and there they just want content that's good enough. And as a result, you've got the writers and the actors still trying to make great content because that's the only are basically pushing us down because they don't actually care about great content because they don't want to be in the content business. They want to be in the delivery business. Now, the ways they're doing this is they're using the idea of the breakup of the classic 22-episode television season that used to dominate everything. The way actors and writers are paid was based on a system that arose in the 1950s and 60s for how many episodes a show would make, and that's the amount of payments you would get. Now, with the rise of streaming, network television, which used to be this dominant force within the industry, lost all its power. And so there were these margins that companies could play with. Instead of making 22 episodes over 12 months, they could make 10 episodes, 8 episodes over 12 months. You've just paid half as much money, but you keep the writers on that show for 12 months. In fact, they would have decided they could, instead of having a show on the air once a year, they would have them on the air every 14 months. And all of a sudden, you've cut writers' pay. I've found using the marginal areas of standard business practice to reduce payment to writers for the same labor over more time.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot of price confusion, frankly, because you can't tell, how many people. It's hard to perceive how many people are subscribing or continuing to subscribe to a Netflix, a Hulu, a Disney Plus, etc., because of this specific product that these specific people worked on.
Let's stop there. These are companies that can pinpoint exactly when you pause, exactly when you turn it on, exactly when you turn it off. They have all the data. They know who watches what, where, when, why, how long. They know what patterns make them more viewers. They have all the data. The issue is because they are vertical monopolies who are not monetizing individual shows, but the whole slurry, they are not sharing any of that data. They consider it proprietary. And so they know the answers. They are just unwilling to.
I would push back on a claim, which maybe I don't know that you're making, but that the content has gotten sort of appreciably worse over time as a result of this structure. There's certainly more TV shows, movies, etc., that I enjoy now. Effects have gotten so much better. Long television shows often had a lot of filler content that was skippable or familiar or doing same tropes of storytelling. Do you think the content is really suffering as a result of this system?
Here's what I'll say. What you're talking about is the area of business every 10 to 12 years. It never stays the same. So what you're talking about is a version of television when streaming was new and there was all of this discovery of all the possibilities of the platform. And that, yes, there was great content, and there's still great content, but the issue is that the companies actually are not prioritizing great content. What they want is they want to de-risk content. They want to put on content that is derivative because it is, in their eyes, less risky. And the lesson they are failing to learn is that Hollywood, basically you produce the same thing for enough time, the audience gets bored and stops showing up. That's why you're seeing erosion in Marvel movies. That's why you're seeing erosion in long-held franchises. This is the same thing that happened to action movies in the 90s and cowboy movies in the 70s and the giant studio system in the 30s and 40s. This business always changes. And if you think you can de-risk the creation of content, you are basically putting that risk more on the backs of writers, forcing us to go through more hoops before they actually pay $1. And so this de-riskification is one of the major financial issues. And where it's leading to in quality of content is if you don't care if it's great, if you only want it to be good enough, you will not pay the money for the extra writers. You will, in fact, make the showrunner have to rewrite all of everything over production, which leads to less quality. You have an overworked people, and you have people who aren't gaining skills. And so as a result, you are going to end up with, in the long run, content that is produced by exhausted, tired people who, of course, aren't producing at their peak level. And that's why the content is creating a problem. And you're seeing it in box office. People are getting tired of the same formula.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
And because you cannot de-risk the production of content.
So I've heard writers in particular talk about how changes to how writing rooms are staffed has affected writers' pay, and it seems like maybe you're alluding to that a little bit as well. Could you explain what's going on there to us?
Sure. The traditional pattern of a writer's room was a studio would greenlight a show, meaning we are making a season of the show. The showrunner would then hire whatever suitable number of writers they felt was appropriate. On a network show where you had very little lead time, they'd hire more writers because there were more episodes and less lead time. On a cable show, you'd often hire less writers because you had more lead time and fewer episodes. I did a show back in 2005 where it was myself, another executive producer, and a co-EP, and we were the entire staff with 3 people. But we had 16 weeks to write before we went into production. And once we went into production, all 3 of us were still on staff, still being paid, and so we could each oversee the scripts we wrote. What happens now is they don't greenlight the room. They don't say you're making the show. They say we're going to put together a writer's room. And so instead of paying you producing fees, your guaranteed fees, what we're going to do is pay you a weekly pay, which is far below what you would be paying on a weekly basis if we activated your producer fees. We'll keep you in that room for 10 weeks, extract all your labor at below market values, and then we're going to let everybody go, all the other writers except the showrunner. So there's only 1 writer left. So instead of 3 writers, each of whom has the time and energy to devote to their own thing, who are getting paid their producing fees for all episodes produced, 1 writer is getting all episodes produced, having to produce more than humanly possible amounts of labor, and all the other writers basically work under market for 10 weeks and then get laid off. They are essentially extracting the labor without paying for the labor. Developed when the business was different. And this is one of the things that when this strike is over and an agreement is achieved, I think the writers, as writers, need to look and redo them for, truthfully, the modern reality. So there are 2 layers to what's going on with writers. We have to put in a floor with this strike to make sure we aren't abused and our rates aren't suppressed further.
Sure.
But when it's over, we have to look at our overscale pay, our back-end pay, our long-term things, and figure out how to structure our payment so that there aren't these margins that can be abused by the companies in their, coterie of CEOs and boards of directors.
Blake Masters, thank you so much for joining us.
That's crazy. I am so sick of freaking Hollywood.
Wonderful day. I know someone who's not having a wonderful day, and that is Disney, as they need to cut massive expenses. They've been laying off top talent at places like ESPN, rolling back their programming on Marvel and Star Wars, and now that's how bad it is for Disney. Their theme park attendance is at an all-time low. That's how bad it is for Disney. Okay, people have decided, and they're going to pretend that, oh, it's just this Saturday. I think wrong. Disney got greedy. That's part of give money. Their park is overly politicized, and their writers
give them money.
Would give them money. By the way, this video speaks the headline. Right now, things are developing at a rapid pace. It started with a sweeping executive order by the Biden administration, and now central banks are even hiring for their buy with precious metals like gold and silver. I've partnered with the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco, because they're a great company with an amazing reputation. Right now, they're giving you up to $10,000 in free silver while supplies last.
Plus, all qualified callers this week will receive a free Ronald Reagan silver coin. Don't wait until all of your money's under Biden control. Go to quarteringgold.com. That's quarteringgold.com to learn how you get started today. Link in the description. And other assets may try to sell entire Disney company. What? TV and streaming assets, and may even be considering selling the entire company. Box interview. The interview conducted by David Faber was held at a media conference in Sun Valley, Idaho, and Iger's comments about the writers and actor strikes have gone viral. But during the interview, he also agreed with Faber that ABC and its local stations may not be the core of the Walt Disney Company. Faber says, with cable TV on the decline, Iger wants to sell most of Disney's TV assets, mainly ABC, Freeform, and FX. Disney Plus lost 4 complete failure. How do you screw that up? How do you screw up Disney Plus when you have a catalog of some of the most iconic films in history? Films that are babysitter level. You put it on, you get 2 free hours away from your kids. How are you not selling Disney Plus? 4 million subscribers lost. And by the way, that number is going to continue to balloon, in my opinion, because when Disney Plus launched, conveniently, they knew exactly when the entire world was going to shut down. What a coincidence. Everyone signed up for it because everyone was at home. This is what's happening. Everyone was at home. They had nothing else to do. Entire cities were shut down. So every streaming service, people signed up for it, and it was a bonanza. Now, everything's back open, and people are having their budgets are getting reevaluated. Money's tight. Switched away from cable because it was costing me $120 a month, and I didn't. Streaming services.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
This is something I predicted would happen. The thing I predicted would happen that hasn't happened yet is that people will return to cable, but that hasn't happened yet.
My kid's laying on my foot playing with the fan.
According to Bloomberg, Iger wants to completely sell or restructure Disney TV's and streaming business in India too. This is actually where Disney Plus had its biggest losses. Disney Plus and Hotstar, the region's version of Disney Plus, lost streaming rights to the Indian Premier League cricket matches, leading to 1 and 4.6 million additional in Q2. That's nearly 10 million subscribers gone. App for Hulu and Disney Plus later this year. The streaming services will still have their own separate apps, of course. Disney will more than likely have to buy Comcast's 33% stake in Hulu in 2024. Wells Fargo analyst Steve Cahill says selling Disney TV networks could get them about $8 billion, which could help offset the cost of the last third. Potential buyers would be financial entities like private equity firms. Iger wants to hang on to ESPN, but is looking for a partner for the sports network. Potential partners include companies like Apple. Speaking of Apple, there's been rumors since Iger's return last November that he will sell all of Disney to the tech company. At the time, Iger called these rumors nothing more than speculation, but the sale seems to still be a possibility. Bob Iger isn't known for selling. During his first tenure at Disney CEO, he acquired Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm, all which have been successful purchases. Well, they see. He began working for the network in 1974, long before it was acquired by Disney. He performed menial labor on TV sets and worked his way up through the ranks. He was named or whatever. When Walt Disney Company acquired ABC in 1995, they acquired Iger and he track record. I mean, if Iger sells, this is wild.
Gross.
Bob Iger shifts from building an empire to a Disney yard sale. Netflix just had its biggest month in years, and Disney's looking to sell its TV assets. What does this mean for the future of Hollywood? Well, it's going to get even worse because Disney Plus isn't going to have any new programming. You know, I would predict maybe they open up the Disney Vault and get like some of these programs back on Disney Plus. I don't know. I mean, it's wild. And the thing is,
I love how my stream was perfectly fine
Disney
for the first
Plus
hour,
a
and then it
long-term
started lagging
success,
after an hour.
they termed sticky Star Wars programming. Epic fail. They had The Mandalorian. It was good for a little while. They got rid of Gina Carano. A bunch of people left. And on top of that, who's even talking about The Mandalorian anymore? Who? When's the last person you heard on the street talk about The Mandalorian or any of the other Star Wars shows on Disney? Nobody watches them. They don't share those numbers, but I'm telling you, nobody watches programming. What did they give you? She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Secret Invasion, all this crap. That again, nobody watches. Now, just so I don't, if you enjoy this shows, I'm not like coming after you.
My face.
I'm just talking about their viewership, their viewership or anything like that. But the fact of the matter, Marvel streaming has been a failure. Star Wars streaming has been a failure. They have all these iconic properties and they just couldn't figure out streaming. It's just obvious. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong, but that's what I think. You have June was Netflix's best quarter of domestic growth in years. About 3.5 million people signed up for Netflix in the United States alone last month, an increase of more than 100% in its recent averages. Well, that also has to do with the removal of password sharing, in full disclosure. But I mean, Disney CEO says the studio is shifting away from Marvel and Star Wars because they've failed. Shocking to me. They bought Fox. Where the heck is the Wolverine origin story? Where's the Gambit show? Where's the Storm origin story? Storm Origins. Eye of the Storm. Storm Origins. The problem is they have all these great IPs, but they don't know how to actually make a good show. That's the thing. Like Dave Filoni got a lot of credit for The Mandalorian, okay, and I'm not saying the guy's an idiot, but they're spread too thin, and even a great talent. How is he supposed to have an impact on 10 different shows at once? And this Disney stock hits lowest close of 2023. This was yesterday, my friends.
Yay! Go away, Disney.
Walt Disney stock ended Monday 3.5% lower to 85.
I used to like Disney, now I hate them.
It's up. Disney, they wanted to get Walt Disney Company acquired ABC in 1995. They acquired Iger.
You're the one that turned around.
His way up to the CEO of the entire company. Then you have Marvel. You could have had great Marvel programming. What did they give you? She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Secret Invasion, all this crap. That again, nobody watches. Now, just so I don't, if you enjoy this shows, I'm not like coming after you. I'm just talking about their viewership, their viewership numbers. If you like them, watch them. Don't, and you shouldn't have to feel bad about it or anything like that. But the fact of the matter, Marvel streaming has been a failure. Star Wars streaming has been a failure. Yeah. They have all these iconic properties and they just couldn't figure out streaming because I think they were more concerned with the message than they were with actually putting out high quality programming. To me, that's just...
What's up, funny? Yeah! Oh, shoot! Dude, was that Homer? That sounded like Homer. Malekith is pretty freaking hard.
Oh, death. Become my blade once more. Yeah.
He's on fire. Ha! What? That explosion is like, what game is it? I can't remember. The Yoshi's Island? You blow up the islands?
They're back! And this time they're Elden Ring Ding Dong pins. We got Blythe, Ronnie, The Guy, Jellyfish, and the Carbot logo. These pins are a limited series, so get them while they
Love it. What else? Anyone got any comments? Any else?
What happens when free market capitalism isn't all that free? Big government intervention in the economy makes everyone poorer, except the government. Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. Capitalism gets blamed for a lot of things these days.
No.
Climate change, slavery, pumpkin spice lattes. But when the economy is put under greater control by the state, i.e. socialism, things don't work out so well. And you still wind up with pumpkin spice lattes. Who would have thought the people behind the DMV might not be competent? Look no further than America's neighbor to the north, Canada. According to Canada's former chief economic analyst, Philip Cross, Trudeau is killing Canada's economic growth. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, love him, hate him, just don't leave him alone with black makeup. Or the economy, for that matter. And it's not just based on GDP. Canada is a member of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD. It's a year ago, Canada's Department
of
Finance reported that Canada's annual growth in real GDP per capita would lag behind all of the OECD countries from 2020 all the way to 2060. Ouch! Zooming in on this year, the cracks are starting to show. Unemployment rose in June. Inflation is a bit wobbly, and rent is soaring. In addition, the Institute for Research Public Policy said Canada's productivity and living standards have been on a decline. And some say Trudeau's policies are to blame. A big one is Trudeau's climate agenda. I'll tell you more after the break. Welcome back. Now, since climate change threatens to kill us all, it makes sense to give the government more power over the economy, right? Let's see how that's going in Canada. Despite sitting on one of the world's largest sources of oil and gas, Trudeau wants to reduce reliance on them in the name of climate action. The Trudeau government wants a cap on oil and gas emissions across all sectors. The goal is to cut emissions 40 to 45% from 2005 levels by 2030. Now, Trudeau has even admitted that won't do anything to fight climate change. That's because, according to Canada's government, Canada's own emissions are not large enough to materially impact climate change. But that's not entirely true. These policies do accomplish something. $5 billion a year. Then there are the taxes. Canada has not one, but two carbon taxes. According to the Canadian government's own budget watchdog, the first tax, the federal fuel charge, will mean Canadians will have to pay $429 million this year, rising to $924 million in 2030. And the second tax, the clean fuel regulations, will increase the price of gasoline by up to 17 cents per liter and decrease real GDP in Canada by up to $9 billion in 2030. But wait, there's more. RBC Economics predicts Canada's goal of achieving net zero by 2050 will cost $2 trillion. That's the climate policies. But what happens when the government gets involved in wealth redistribution? Well, we know how that worked out in the Soviet Union and Communist China, but Canada does give us an example much closer to home. Because it's time for the ultra-wealthy to pay their fair share. And in Canada, that means taking about a third of people's money if they make over $200,000 a year.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, those ultra-wealthy small business owners making above $200,000. Even though America is known as the crazy gun country, Canada proves they're just as capable of shooting themselves in the foot.
Ha!
So what is the government doing with all this tax revenue? Investing too much in government debt and housing and not enough in business investment. From 2015 to 2019, the decline in business investment was widespread throughout the
I'm
economy.
hungry.
And a majority of industries in Canada reduced investments in machinery, equipment, and intellectual property products during that period. It seems like the only businesses Trudeau invests in are volumizing shampoos and conditioners. According to the Institute for Research and Public Policy, Canadian businesses are so reluctant to invest and innovate, they aren't being competitive enough with each other, much less the rest of the world. That's why in Financial Times' 2019 Top 100 Global Companies, only 3 were Canadian, compared to 47 American. Now, some will argue things are fine. According to Bloomberg editor Matthew Winkler, Trudeau diversified Canada's economy like no one before. But a diversified economy is not necessarily a growing economy. Governments often assume that the more they tax, the more income they'll get. But often what happens is the wealthiest businesses and people just move their wealth elsewhere and the tax burden lands on the middle class. But you might be asking yourself, what about Scandinavian countries? They rank among the most competitive countries in the world, with companies like Nokia and Spotify. And yet, is operating with high taxes, while high taxes in Canada seem to be discouraging innovation. Well, like the US, Scandinavian countries don't rely on corporate income taxes, which are levied on business profits. They raise a huge chunk of their tax revenue from income taxes, social security contributions, and value-added taxes, or VATs. VATs are similar to sales taxes. They're levied at each stage of the supply chain, such as the manufacture, distribution, and sale of an item. In short, while taxes on businesses are low, Scandinavian countries make it up with high taxes on individuals to fuel their social services. They also aren't so idealistic as to forgo oil and gas to keep their economies going.
I feel like we need some kind of intervention before the shit goes and hits the fan, because that would be nice. We were paying like $1,500 a month in electricity over here, and it's not because of my PC or because of how hot it is. It's because of how hot the house is, not my PC.
Below. And remember that we rely mainly on direct support from viewers like you. If you want help,
yeah, support this guy. He gets censored all the time by YouTube, and YouTube is a POS, and they can eat a giant fat weenie for all I care.
help us deliver nonpartisan news. All it takes is as little as $1 per episode over on our crowdfunding website, Patreon.
Google, YouTube, both of them.
Uncovered.
Oh my god, this person looks disgusting.
What would you say to folks who think that they're being reasonable by saying, why can't children just wait till they're 18?
Adolescence is hard and puberty is hard. What if you're going through the wrong? If you inside feel that you are female, but now you're going through male puberty.
This clip has been going viral of the Assistant Secretary for Health, Admiral Levine, who was talking about transitioning and going through the wrong puberty, which in itself, I can't believe that this creature over here, and I don't mean to be too mean, but
this is the dude with the smoker's teeth I was commenting about. You should see how nasty his teeth are. You can tell he smokes. His teeth right here is super yellow. You can see those fingers. Probably smoking that doobie or smoking a rollie.
Start calling these things what they are. I can't believe this creature over here is a Secretary for Health. These are the things that are running our government and telling us what is healthy and what isn't healthy. I mean, look at this thing, man. But anyway, this clip has been going viral and it sparked a lot of outrage. It sparked a lot of reactions from people like Matt Walsh and like some other people that will go over in this video. Let's check out this tweet here from Nikki Neely. It says, Assistant Secretary for Health Admiral Levine, who transitioned as an adult, dismisses the question of why children can't wait until they turn 18 to pursue sex change surgeries. Adolescence is hard and puberty is hard. What if you're going through the wrong puberty? This is the expert parents are supposed to trust. It's insane to me. But like I said, man, let's get into this video of Admiral Levine explaining why children can't wait until they're 18 for sex change surgeries. Let's check this out.
What would you say to folks who think that they're being reasonable by saying, why can't children just wait till they're 18?
Adolescence is hard and puberty is hard. What if you're going through the wrong puberty? What if
I would say if you're going through the wrong puberty, you should probably go to therapy because you probably have some extreme mental illness if you believe that you are going through the wrong puberty. And to go through the wrong puberty, there is no such thing. So yeah, if you're going through the wrong puberty, go to the doctor and not for a sex change, for mental illness.
If you inside feel that you are female, but now you're going through a male puberty.
And like I said, Matt Walsh absolutely destroys all of this stuff every single time. And thank God for people like Matt Walsh, man. Thank God for people like Megyn Kelly and all the others who are really standing up to this kind of thing. Because yes, it might be a small minority of people who are going through these things, but it's rapidly growing. And I feel like I can do 3-4 videos a day on this stuff alone because of how fast it's growing, because of how viral these videos are going every single day. And yeah, it causes a lot of outrage from our side of the internet. But the more this stuff goes viral, the more people like Admiral Levine are running our government, are not only running our government, but running the health department of our government. The more people see that, the more it's normalized, and the more little kids are going to want to go through these things. So it needs to be pushed back on. And also, it needs to get out of the government. We need to get Joe Biden out of office, but that's obviously a given. I mean, if you think that Joe Biden should stay in office for another term, you're absolutely insane. I mean, look at the damage that he's done with only 3 years, not even 3 years yet, having people like this run our government, man. Imagine what he could do with a whole another 5 if he was given that. We can't let that happen.
People are panty liners.
It just can't happen. Here is Matt Walsh's reaction to this viral clip of the health Admiral Levine talking about why puberty is hard and what if you go through the wrong puberty. Let's check out what Matt Walsh thinks about this. Yes, what if you're going through the wrong puberty? Also, what if you have the wrong liver or the wrong left kneecap? What if you have the man? None of this actually makes sense. And I think that if you show this clip to most people out there, they would say, oh yeah, that's ridiculous. No point in, we don't have to worry about that. We don't actually have to worry about these people. They're not an actual threat. And yet they are. Because I've seen clips, and I did a video on it yesterday, actually. Let's check out this clip right here of this little boy who their parents brainwashed into turning into a girl. I'm sure that he probably seen some video.
Looks like a fat chick.
Was on TikTok, or maybe he saw that his health official was the gender that they aren't anymore. They transitioned, and then that kid, that boy, went to his parents and said,
Looks like that kid from the Goonies. Do the, what was it, the Truffle Shuffle?
their boy into a girl, and he even has the talking points down and everything. You can tell this kid is just completely brainwashed into thinking that this stuff is normal, that he doesn't have a mental illness, that this is completely normal to be the gender, to be the sex that you aren't. Let's check this out, man.
Without getting this medication, I will go through the wrong puberty, therefore making permanent changes to me.
A 9-year-old or 11-year-old don't say things like that. Go through the wrong puberty. Like that's coming from the parents. Like, let's be real. That actually it's coming through the parents or the school or TikTok or all the other ways of brainwashing the little kids nowadays. Because one is too many. Having one child be brainwashed into actually making these changes is too many, in my opinion. And the more that it happens to, the more it gets normalized. You see kids at your school go through these transitions, and you also see your health officials, and you also see people on TikTok doing it. A ton of people celebrating these things on social media, and it's just like, okay, this is normal. Actually, not only is it normal, but it's admirable. That's insane. And the more that these little kids see that, the more they're going to actually push their parents to let them do it and to actually go through these transitions, which is very, very harmful to their future. They're not able to have children a lot of the time. If you go through these puberty blockers, a lot of the time you're not able to go through the proper puberty to actually experience adolescence and experience puberty. Like it messes you up big time. It can mess you up big time. Not always, but obviously a lot of the side effects are really, really bad. And because this is not a normal procedure, it's really common to experience these side effects. So to have children think that this stuff is normal is very harmful, and we need desperately more people out there like Matt Walsh to push back on these things. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking.
I am just hate watching right now. Seeing all this crazy stuff that happens in the country, and just like, oh my god.
What the hell is even that? I'm Cody, pronouns em, ers, or zem, zers, or really any neo-pronouns that aren't z, her, hers. I am
I have a penis, but I have titties too.
a white transmasculine femme non-binary, temporarily mostly able
Maybe she should poke her eye out. Fuck her eye socket.
bodied, neurodivergent, obsessive compulsive, chronically ill, culturally Jewish, Unitarian Universalist, non-monogamous, demi-low romantic, gray demi-bisexual, survivor of acute and
You like having sex with everything, and you're every kind of religion, and you like to do anything to everyone all at the same time.
complex trauma, millennial, and cat parent in mental health recovery.
Do you see this person next to me?
Hear that? Mental health recovery.
E is my friend. C has had to put up with a lot to get to where Per is today. I just want to let Glint know that Thon is valid, that Ver pronouns are valid, and that Sarah identity is valid.
Let's talk about QPO-sexuals and QPO.
There's a cat!
Romantics. This is one of my most requested micro labels, so I know a bunch of y'all gonna relate. QPO means to desire or long for. QPO-sexuals
God for this dick.
are people who experience little to no sexual attraction, but still have a desire for a sexual relationship.
Well, have a sexual relationship with the toilet.
They are usually sex favorable, but not always. Sometimes they simply fancy the idea of a sexual relationship, but don't have the intention of actually pursuing one. The aromantic counterpart is a QPO romantic who experiences little to no romantic attraction, but still has a desire for a romantic relationship or an appreciation for romance. Perhaps they enjoy cuddles and long walks on the beach, but
Hot Cheetos. Got a baby right here. You know where that comes from? My dick. And then put it in the egg in my lady's vagina. And that's where babies come from. Also, that red dye in the Cheetos is probably what's making you crazy right now.
have no idea who the heck they'd like to do that with. I'm sure these identities can be a little confusing and isolating at times, but I know there's more than one of you out there. Leave a comment and make some QPO friends, or maybe even a queer platonic partner. I'm now endorsing TikTok QPRs.
Good one. Now, alrighty, everybody, repeat after me. Asexual, pansexual,
Whoa,
bisexual,
the hell is this?
trans people, and non-binary people are 100%
That's totally a guy.
valid and definitely part of the LGBTQ community. And if you don't like that, suck my dick.
Next up, we have Ace Flux.
I mean, I'm bi anyways, so maybe I would. But you're not attractive, so no, I wouldn't.
So Ace Flux is your person. They're going to fluctuate between asexuality and
Fluctuate between that ass and that pussy.
homosexual. So like, it's your person that one day they could be like fully asexual, and then the next they could totally change. So this is a person whose sexuality is going to fluctuate on a daily basis. One day they could have crushes on somebody. One day they could be sexually attracted to somebody in some form or degree, and the next day they could be completely just not interested, not wanting anything to do with. So this is your person that's going to be asexual one day, in some form or degree of sexual the next. I think that's really interesting. Flux or anything, please tag them, let them know, share it, like, comment. Thank you.
Nobody needs you to advocate for how difficult it is to use gender-neutral pronouns. These are my pronouns. You will use them, or you will not refer to me. At all.
Look like a psycho cat goth.
If you misgender me by mistake, fix it and move on. I don't need your elaborate apology. I don't care how many times you say sorry. Just don't do it again. Moreover, if someone else misgenders me, it is never your job to tell them that it's okay. 'Cause it isn't. I get it. The discussion of the gender spectrum confuses you, and that's fine. But if you don't know anything about it, don't speak on it.
Story time. This has been Queer Neurodivergent Educator, and we have been rocking R2's class. We've been talking about gender, and skin color, and consent, and empathy, and our bodies, and autonomy. It's been fabulous! So today at the lunch table, when the topic of gender and genitals came up, one of our students plainly looked up and said, "Well, I'm a girl today, but I know that teacher Co isn't." No, they're NB. And the look on the incoming teacher's face was priceless. She was shocked in a good way, and she just looked around at the two of us and said, "This class is incredible, and I am so impressed."
Hi, I'm Jax, and I just came up with new neopronouns that combine he, him, she, her,
What in the hell is this?
and they, them, okay? So hear me out. They, them, theirs, okay? They, them, their, whatever
They done bro.
you want to consider it, right? Let's take the first one, the, okay? This combines she, he, and they, right? They, the. That's what they said, you know? That's what they said. Next, we got them, right? Okay, so then we got, that's just combining them and him. Them, you know?
I feel like I'm getting stupider watching this.
I went to a movie with them the other night. Last one, theirs, okay? It's just like theirs, but like also like hers. Theirs. That jacket's theirs. Yes, this just sounds like they, them pronouns, but with the new ultra-scientific method, we have them so they've combined he and she as well. Everybody get you with them, theirs today, yeah?
Welcome back to What's That Sexuality? Today's sexuality is trixic. Now, trixic is actually quite complex, especially since it's a new term. The basic definition is a non-binary person, no matter their orientation, who is attracted to women. But it's not always an exclusive attraction. The opposite of trixic is toric, which is the same thing except attraction to men. Now, someone who's trixic can also identify as a non-binary lesbian or feminomoric, though feminomoric is an exclusive attraction to females, the opposite of which is viramoric. The reason trixic or toric is so new is because the term non-binary is so new. It's also the reason why it's not very well known. Trixic flag contains the colors yellow, pink, magenta, and purple. And the toric flag contains the colors purple, lighter purple, blue, green, and dark green. I hope you guys learned something
I know what you paint. You're fucking dumb.
and have a wonderful day.
God pronoun so offensive to people. Like, it's a pronoun, get over it. And so I'm gonna say my pronouns real quick and why. So he spelled HY is because I'm agender and I just like the masculinity, but I don't want to be associated with men. That's why he HY, right? Then I have they, them, and that's just me being like, you can use that. I'm okay with that. Like, pop off. It's like better than they, them, but it's kind of like the same thing. God is me validating my agenderness. Oh, fuck, I ruined this Q-tip. Me validating my agenderness because I don't view myself as a god. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in gods. But I just like the, not feeling, but how it's perceived with me. So, God, the reason why I use it is...
You're not even using the right thing to clean your mouth, you dumbass. You're supposed to use salt water, fuckface. It's the only way your skin heals. Using hydroperoxide, your skin's never gonna heal.
Because as an agender person, I don't have a
that just shows how smart you are.
gender.
And God was a hermaphrodite, not agender. It was proven in Elden Ring. Don't you remember that?
So it's like I'm existing and I'm not existing at the same time. God, right? I am a being and I'm not a being at the same time. Like God. So that's why people can get offended. That's fine, but nothing else validates my agenderness like that pronoun.
Validation isn't what the problem is. It's the fact that it's not real.
There's nothing on here. That's just like what happens. So yeah, those are my pronouns, and that's why.
You start by replacing gender language and documentation, like any of these terms, with more neutral language. It can be things like, instead of referring to class as ladies and gentlemen or boys and girls, things like class.
I just say guys, and I include that as in guys and girls. So, yeah, take that. Because guys is just an overall way of saying everyone.
Like this is a really
Email signature? What?
great way to show students when they email.
Bro, all this crap with, like, including pronouns and stuff, I just want to, like, murder people. Not really, but, like, you know, hypothetically. Just, let's make a little island of all the trans people with mental disabilities. Be like Metalocalypse with the kitty island with all the murderous cats.
Email you that you are accepting of the pronouns that they
Release the kitties!
And use the proper ones. Another great thing that you can do when asking for pronouns at the beginning of the year is ask whether or not you can use those pronouns with parents. Some students are out at school but not at home due to safety reasons, so making sure that you ask whether or not you can use those pronouns at home, and if not, which pronouns to use instead, can ensure that a student's safety is not compromised. And lastly, making mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. It's a natural thing to mess up. However, when you do mess up, don't draw too much attention to the mistake, simply correct it and move on. Because drawing way too much attention to it can create a really uncomfortable situation and accidentally out students to people who might not have noticed the mistake in the first place. Simply correct and move on, and if you...
I can't even understand anything.
Non-binaries and they. Well, if you're trying to address non-binary people with they, not all non-binary people use they, them pronouns, myself included. Oh yeah, you're right, huh? Then what
Person's an alcoholic. Look at that nose. It's so fucking big.
should I use? Hey friends, hey folks, hey y'all. That.
So not all men is trending. I'm gonna say it, yes, all men. And why do I say all men? Because the patriarchy has taught us to be misogynistic and sexist as part of our culture. They're in control of that. Even women are taught to self-oppress. And women undo that at an early age because, well, we live it. We live that oppression. We live with the fear of never being safe, no matter where we are.
What?
And it's even scarier for women of color or trans women.
This is the future.
So,
babies.
yes, all men.
Kids. Oh,
We
baby.
need you to hold each other accountable. Because the men who make jokes about us that say bad things, those are the men who go on to harass and kill and rape us.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell is even that?
I hate that straight people have taken the incredibly complex and nuanced thing that is the queer experience and stolen it, oversimplified it, bastardized it, commodified it, and then they try to straight-splain it back to us as if they know more about it.
Straight explain. Just like a mansplain.
Than we do. I hate that we have to make ourselves either entirely invisible or shove our identities into neat little stereotypes.
It's not that you have to make yourself invisible, it's the fact that you're rubbing it inside the lesbians and the gays and the bisexuals' faces. And they just want to be normal. Whereas you guys came along with these mental disorders and decided to be like, oh, we're not what we are, We don't know what we are. We think we are, but we're not are. Basically.
Types that they can easily digest in order for them to take us seriously. I hate having to
Thank God
infantilize
June's
and
over.
straight people constantly in order to reduce the chances of attempt.
my brother's gay. I don't give a shit about this stuff. I've sucked some dick in my life, but you know, you don't gotta like appropriate yourself with a different gender just to be that. Just fucking see lots of dudes that are dressed up like chicks and they are so against it. They're like, no, just leave the kids alone. And they're like, no, we already had enough freedom. You guys are just ruining it at this point. Because everyone's starting to hate the gays and the bis and the lesbians because of it. It's not even their fault. It's this whole freaking mix after the LGBT. You know, trannies used to be really cool. My uncle was a tranny. And now he's super Christian. But that's a completely different story. He was like a hooker tranny.
Temper tantrum patient ever willing to teach queer that straight people seem to think encapsulates all of us. I am not your fucking encyclopedia. I am far too busy living my own life to attempt to educate you for hours on end without monetary compensation, or at least without the insistence constantly that I'm not being.
Monetary compensation? You mean for doing this TikTok that's only worth about 10 cents per video?
Nice as you want me to be.
Or 10 cents per 100,000 likes?
You're so interested.
So you only make like $5 to $100 maybe a video.
Interested, do a modicum of research yourself, and if you won't even do that, you're not actually interested.
What's the unpopular opinion that you have about parenting that you know is going to make a lot of parents mad?
To preface this with, I am not
Got him!
telling anybody how to parent their child. This is specifically what I feel is best. And that is that gender creative parenting is a better option for parenting than assigning kids genders at birth and then having them tell you if it's different later. And I say that because by not assigning any gender at birth and treating their gender as an
Bro, if your kid has a freaking vagina or a penis, they're one or the other. Unless they got both. Then they're a hermaphrodite. That is a whole different story, and then they can go screw themselves, and they don't need you anyways.
unknown, it gives them so much more opportunity to explore gender identity in all of its facets instead of having this preconceived notion of what gender is that was genital appearance. So again, not telling anybody how to parent, but that's my 2 cents, and that's why we're raising our kiddo the way we are. You don't have to like it, but you will respect it. And if you
And then we're gonna give your kid to the state, and then they're gonna be more fucked up.
don't respect it, I'm gonna block you real fast.
Here's a big block. No one wants to talk to you anyways, except for your little group of weirdos.
Also no hate in the comments because that gets blocked too.
You guys, my dad literally just got punched
This lady's a bitch.
in the face for being a Trump supporter.
I will do it again. Watch.
Like, that was it. Just for being a Trump supporter. And I'd do it again.
Why, yes, I'm an evil left-wing sheeple snowflake working for the deep state here to force your wives to get abortions and then leave you for trade.
You can tell this guy sucks a bunch of dicks. Like, we're gonna trade him on. But
Antifa that stormed the Capitol to make you all look bad so that we can take your
it's called Trantifa now.
guns, spread communism, and blast hard.
Guy has a Texas shirt on.
Be your churches.
Hi there. You can either respect my trans homies, or I can identify as a fucking problem. And if I catch your bitch ass being disrespectful, your
Probably get a bottle to the face and you'll be knocked out cold on the ground. And we'll see what's going on there.
pronouns are going to be was, were. Thank you for coming, and have a nice day.
Okay, can someone help me out with this? Because I'm confused. I am a woman. I identify as a woman. I feel comfortable in being a woman. Like, what the fuck is a woman? Like, if someone asked me, what is being...
Well, clearly it's not having a penis, not being able to give babies birth, or breastfeeding, or having a freaking monthly, you know what? You know, sometimes I wish I was a chick, but only if I was born that way. Put it like Lady Gaga. Oh wait. They thought she was a dude for years too.
being a woman mean to you? I wouldn't have an answer. Don't even try to tell me that.
But she was like, I'm getting naked, look, I have a vagina.
Well, being a woman is being empathetic and kind and compassionate, because that could be anybody. Anybody could be those things. Don't even bother being transphobic in my comments, saying that, oh, well, being a woman is having...
No. You know, a lot of people aren't even really transphobic. It's because you're fucking in your faces, in our faces with your kinks and crap. No one likes that. No one wants to see a flying wiener or titties or anything else. I mean, I'm sure like guys would, but like, not if you're like, hey, I'm a guy, look at my boobs.
uterus and having kids, because no, don't even bother saying that being a woman means having bitties and having a vagine, because no, also no, wrong. So I'll ask the question again. What is a woman? Like, I feel so comfortable identifying as a woman, but is that only because that's just what I've always been? That's what people always told me that I was, so I just went with it. And the thing that's frustrating with
What about your bonus holes? Has anyone ever told you you have nice bonus holes?
This question is that everyone's answer is always, well, it depends on the person. And I get that, I know, but I'm trying to figure it out for myself. And I don't know. And I mean, I'm a gender abolitionist, so like, abolish gender, you know? But some people feel very validated in their labels and in their gender. So I'm strictly speaking for myself. I don't know what being a woman means to me. Anyone else?
Hi, I'm so sorry for the late response, but I've been incredibly busy lately. But this is not a weird question at all. I get asked all the time. It's a relatively unknown sexuality, and that's okay. Being autosexual means that I'm on the asexual spectrum. People who are asexual do not enjoy intimate relationships with others. This
It's like a Harry Potter, that baby's fat.
auto. However, people who are autosexual do enjoy self-pleasure, whereas people who are asexual tend not to do so. That's the only real difference, and I hope
Like, doesn't ever experience pleasure.
that's educated you. Bye.
Non-binary people now have white patriarchal beauty standards. Did anybody else catch that? It's kind of telling that we want them all to look like white prepubescent femboys. Patriarchy still wants to put them in the box of things that are not men that we can infantilize. Did you know a lot of black AFAB people describe themselves as non-binary because white patriarchy pushed them out
Did you know a lot of black people are also Christian and they really hate what you're doing to this country?
of the binary by aging them up and masculinizing them? Non-binary people don't owe anybody androgyny, but it's interesting that we've also all seemed to land on there being one type of androgyny and that it's infantilizing. Yes, I'm for body autonomy, dysphoria is real, but it does interact with patriarchy. I know that the reason I want to shave my legs isn't some essential characteristic.
Bruh, I shaved my own legs. Not recently, but I used to. Nothing wrong with that. My friends do it. We're guys. We'll have penises.
Womanhood that I brought into this world. I think my dysphoria has something to do with how I
relationship. Normally when people think polyamory, they think two women and a man in a throuple type relationship together, but that's not what polyamory is. I mean, that's one type of polyamory, but polyamory is an umbrella term for many different types of non-monogamous relationships. I call my type of relationship a
Why'd you just call it non-monogamous?
poly or a constellation, because it looks like a molecule or a constellation.
She's like, I get railed by 6 different guys, chicks at the same time. They have every single direction like a clock. 12.
Several people involved in various different ways.
See?
And more people have joined than the last time I did one of these. So let's give a little update. I'm sure you can follow along just fine.
I'm sure you do a lot of porn.
The last video in the series for now will be about making an inclusive classroom. Some things that you can do start by replacing...
I saw these ones.
Ask for explicit permission from everyone, because just because you're comfortable with them doesn't mean that everybody's comfortable with them. I might not be in the mood to deal with white shenanigans that day. That's all I'm saying. And another thing, it feeds into their ego. Like, don't let them think they're a good white person. Don't give them that card to use against
Girl. Dudes who dress like chicks look way better than
other people. Please don't do that.
Here are some examples of my gender fluidity being a little bitch. Number 1, feeling like a guy and visiting my relatives. I don't know if you know this, but I'm not out to my family. Therefore, when I'm feeling like a guy but I have to present super feminine in front of my relatives, it makes me feel icky inside. Also, gender dysphoria is a bit. Number 2, when suddenly my gender decides to change right before bed. I'll just be vibing, and then it'll be like, binder time. No, Michael, it's not binder time, it's bedtime. Binder time. Number 3, in the frickin' middle of the day. I'll be walking all happily along, and then suddenly, boom, gender change. No, now is not the time, Michael. I have a data run. I don't need this dysphoria right now. Most of the time, I won't have the resources or capabilities to reduce the gender dysphoria because I didn't bring along with me a hat or a binder or makeup if it's the other way around. So, it's a bitch. It's a real bitch.
Holy crap, these people are messed up. Oh my god, look at this guy.
What the hell is even that?
So, quick discussion. Do you believe dogs have gender? No, until construct. So naturally that shouldn't apply to dogs because...
Wow. She's not transgender. What the fuck? Everyone knows this. That's not even a picture of her. It's been debunked. Jesus Christ. That's disgusting. Oh my god. What is this? Oh, so because women get their breasts removed, it's okay for them to break out their boobs. It makes you cooler, hotter, and smarter. Jeez. Oh, I remember this. This is awesome. What else can we watch before I bounce? Anything else? Stanley Parable. Looks really fun. It's not a very long game, so it should be over in a few hours, I think. 3 to 5, maybe? Let's watch this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Steak and Eggs. We haven't been in the studio for 2 weeks now because last week me and Techie were at Anime Expo, but we just released our first special. It was pretty cool. Asmund did not fuck up a single soda.
I expected that not to happen.
I thought there'd be at least one.
No, I don't think so.
It's, you can tell in the
Absolutely
beauty.
not.
There's a smell and there's a taste. You just look for the
See,
ingredient.
everybody thinks, oh,
I'm gonna
it's the
pee and grab a
same.
snack.
No, it's
You guys
fucking
continue
not.
watching this.
And so, yeah, I don't feel, I'm not surprised.
I feel like maybe I should have done it as well since I'm not a soda drinker. I feel like I would have fucked up, but then that would have been embarrassing.
Well, it's like it's like
Yeah.
for palates such as Asmund Golden Eyes that are so advanced, it would be like giving
Advanced.
someone a piece of pizza and one has just cheese and the other has anchovies on it, and then asking them which one has anchovies.
Right.
It's an enormous difference.
I don't think it's advanced. He just only eats the same like 5 foods. So then of course you can tell the subtle differences.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing is, yeah, I eat the same foods all the time, and you don't mess with success. That's what works. How was Anime Expo? Was it good or not?
I thought it was good. I loved it.
It was as great as this
Really?
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar that I still enjoy after the taste test.
Still not as good as the original. Yeah.
No, dude,
Yeah.
Anime Expo was
It was
insane.
sick. Yeah, we both streamed.
Yeah.
But it was basically meet and greet simulator.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
But
not
it was-
mine. Mine was crazy. Mine was straight up nuts. Okay, you have the problem being relevant. I don't have that problem. Okay.
People were stopping you for pictures just as much on mine.
Yes, but I ignore them. It's fine. So what I did was I had a TTS bot on my shit, and I was just as a
Oh
French
my
maid
God,
girl.
that was
I'm not even kidding you,
awesome.
Asmund. Within like the first
bomb.
Yep.
Yeah, I woke up and I checked your stream. I was like, oh, Techie's streaming. That's great. I'll see him there later.
Mm-hmm.
I am on my way to the con. He's already offline. I'm like, what the fuck
Really?
happened?
What happened?
Because it was so fucking hot.
Yeah.
I was dying. 2.5 hours in, carrying a 50-pound backpack.
Oh, fuck that.
Like,
Yeah, that's not
bro,
gonna
I didn't have a
happen.
camera guy. I didn't have Monkey D. Luffy carrying my fucking backpack. I don't have that privilege.
Yeah, I loved it. It's so cool meeting people. And yeah, so I had a Luffy cosplayer as my cameraman, just like a random.
Here, come here. Let's go. Let's
yeah,
go.
I paid him though.
Okay, well, that's good enough.
Yeah, he was cool.
No, the Anime Expo it was like a new reality to me. I didn't
Really?
realize that Anime Con could be like that insane. Like the every like the Honkai panel amazing, the Genshin panel amazing, the community events amazing.
Yeah.
All the merch they were selling, the cosplays were incredible.
I was impressed, honestly. Like, people put
Yeah,
a
you
lot of
would've
work
liked
into
it. It was cool.
Yeah.
Dude, they have a life-size pom-pom at the con.
Yeah, Emmy showed me the
Okay,
picture.
that was not life size. That bitch was like 5 times bigger.
So they had a really big pom-pom.
Yeah. It was
awesome.
like 5 feet tall.
Yeah, no, I saw it, and like, yeah, it was like the size of a fucking Snorlax.
Yep.
That's what I expected it would have been.
Bro, it was so cute, man.
It was so fucking
And like
cute.
Anime Expo was good, but the parties there as well were nuts.
I can't believe that people were just walking around Anime Expo with body pillows. Just straight up, no shame, getting girls to sign their body pillows, and it's like, there it is.
Yep. That's good shit.
It was kind of, it's like in a way, it's like almost freeing, I'm sure. You know, to just go there and just simply not give a fuck at all.
One of my favorite parts was the VTuber meet and greet, seeing people just sitting in a crowd waiting to meet a VTuber.
Oh my God.
And they're all like so happy.
Dude,
it was cool.
I was making people's lives when I was there.
Really?
I was doing an IRL stream with Neanners and Aethel.
Yeah.
And they have anonymity.
Right.
And Neander's wearing her mask, and she told me, okay, Tectone, don't tell anybody that you're with me, okay?
Yeah.
So obviously I told everybody that I was with
Yeah,
the
for
whole
sure, like
time.
immediately.
And going up to people and being like, oh, so you watch VTubers, man? Because they have like VTuber merch on. I'm like, oh, who's
Yeah.
your favorite VTuber? And like, oh, I really like Neanners. And I'm like, that's her.
Really?
And they're like, no, they're not. And then she would be like, Tectone! And then they're like, oh my God, I know the voice. Bro, it was so funny. And then the best thing was is when I found people who didn't like Neanners, I would make them shit talk her to her face.
That's what I would say. Like, yeah, just wind them up.
Yep.
Exactly.
Dude, it was great. I was on LSF like 7 times. The comments were good on 6 of them.
That's probably the first time that's ever happened.
Yes, it was dope.
It all turned around when Angel Tone came out.
I know. Angel Town's been the best PR move I've ever made, man. You know?
During the Final Fantasy stream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just stop being a dick. Besides this one clip where I had TTS on, I was going into an Uber. And SpongeBob, you ever heard the monster TTS of SpongeBob getting railed?
No.
No, so pretty much you go for SpongeBob when you don't have his monster TTS. But in the actual TTS, it sounds like ow, ow, ow. He's getting slammed. It is so
Oh my
funny.
God.
So that was blasting when I was going into the Uber. And then people were like, you made that Uber driver so uncomfortable. I'm actually his cousin. He messaged me about it. Meanwhile, like we got out of the Uber and he was like, bro, y'all were funny as fuck.
Yeah.
And then we tipped him like a lot. Because you kind of have to when you have to.
I think that nobody really gives a fuck. Like every Uber driver where they don't get robbed, like that's a good one. Yeah, I think that's probably a positive.
I learned that Uber drivers did not give a fuck when I was down there because I was going to go to a place called Sushi Anya in LA. It's my favorite sushi joint in there.
Oh,
We were
that
there
place
with
is
Emily
so
last time.
good.
Yeah.
Super fucking good. And there was an active shooter in Little Tokyo.
Uh-huh.
My Uber driver knew that, and he was going to drive me there anyways because he needed to get I guess paid, I guess. And I was like, hey man, there's like a shooter over there, so can we like not go? And we just went to the other place instead. But
They've always seen worse. An Uber driver has always seen worse. Also, I have thrown up in an Uber.
Really? Oh,
I felt
jeez.
really bad.
That's bad.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
My name is Emaru, billionaire and philanthropist, and I'm currently on my Cash App Sigma grind set. If you're like me, you're waking up at 4 a.m. every day and absolutely crushing it. Passive income streams. Don't be weak and ignore the possibilities that Cash App can offer you. Start each with app in the US App Store, Cash App. What, do you want to end up as a production assistant named Jay or something? Nobody wants that. What, did you think there'd be money in there? Why would I carry briefcases with money in it when I have an all-in-one financial app? It has easy tools for spending, sending, and saving money. I do have a briefcase full of money though. These are just like supplements, you know, the basics. I have to stay alert and energized for my passive income stream grind. Buy my e-course. Listen up, betas. The best way to improve your Sigma grind set is to download Cash App for free in the App Store or Google Play, so you can take control of your financial life. Thanks to Cash App for sponsoring our podcast. Check out the link in the description.
Can I talk about the party we went to, Amy?
Yeah, I don't care.
Dude. And then some other content creators like Saikuno, Carl Jacobs, Foolish, Shoto. It was so sick. I went there originally to socialize with everybody who I wanted to meet.
Tectone sat at the beer pong table for 6 hours. I'm not
Yep.
even exaggerating.
Jesus.
He did not leave.
Yep. I couldn't lose. Well, I lost once.
Okay.
But then I got brought back in by Jimmy. You know Jimmy here?
Oh, yeah.
The coolest motherfucker.
Yeah.
Which we need to get on the podcast. I love that guy.
Almost hit me with a bottle rocket.
Did it?
Or what was it, Roman candle?
Oh, that was him in
yeah,
the clip?
That was him.
Oh,
yeah.
Why were you just standing there?
Oh, yeah, I thought I'd be able to move out of the way.
And you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were dodging. The iframes were crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to do it a lot when I was a kid, so I thought I'd be fine. Yeah. A little bit out of practice, but you know, it managed.
Dude,
Didn't light myself on fire.
So when I play beer pong, I don't shoot like the arc.
Yeah.
I just put my hand up in the air and then I beam it down like a fucking meteor.
That's smart.
Yeah. And so naturally, I win for like an hour and a half, and Miz shows up. And Miz is like, oh, dude, tech down. Oh, God, you're so garbage. You're only match on my knees. And I fucking eviscerate him.
Oh, my God. Oh, my
Dude,
God.
but Tectone also does the thing where he like reaches over and goes,
Oh, here we go.
Oh, when he'll like reach over
I'm not the only
table?
person that was saying this.
You were
Nanners was
also-
saying this too.
Yeah, but you were also drunk as fuck.
No, I was not.
Emmy, are you kidding me? You don't think you were drunk there?
No.
Bro, you took like 3 shots. Even next to me, that's the ones I saw.
I was drinking, but I was not drunk. I was tipsy.
It gets more than that?
Yes.
You were like, techie, I want to get a snack.
man,
Can you
that's
take me to
weird.
get a snack? I'm like,
It's because I don't want to go into someone's house
Yeah.
I don't know alone, bro. And they had this
Okay.
pile of snacks. I was like, Tectone, can you walk me to the snacks?
Oh, my God.
yeah, it was funny. It was
But
funny.
I'm not holding you
No.
anymore.
Of course not.
Too much
You don't want to
work.
see me drunk.
Yeah, you're right. That'd be a mess.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
But
Yeah,
fun fact, Saikuno is the greatest beer pong player on earth.
Really?
Oh my God, yes.
I would have never expected that.
He always comes up the same way where he's like, I'm
Yeah.
not very good at this, but I'll give it a shot. Oh, anyways, sinks it. Does it like
Yeah.
5 times. And there was Iron Mouse on an iPad as well.
Uh-huh.
And she was being like carried around like a baby the whole time.
Oh, my fucking God.
Oh yeah, 2 or 3 people that came up to me to ask for pictures were like, "Hey, is Asmund here? Like, where's he at?" And I'm like, "You
What do
really
you think,
you
idiot?"
think he's here?"
Yeah.
I kept on telling you about the con.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You're sued. They're like sitting there waiting.
Yep.
Like, check Twitch. I'm live at my own house. Like, fuck, man.
Oh,
Hey.
fuck.
I knew Tectone was an asshole.
Yeah, damn right. Dude, I think you'll go to an anime con whenever you start Genshin Impact as well.
Really?
Yeah, probably around the same time.
You get to see all the like the weird, crazy animals and like all the weird ass people. Like, I don't know what like this new fixation is. How many of these different pictures have I seen of guys getting girls to step on them?
Oh, I don't
It
get
is
that shit.
crazy.
Oh, I had a couple people
There's so
ask me
many
for
of
that.
them.
My security guard was like, "No, we have to go."
Yeah.
I mean, I get it ironically,
Yeah, of
but I
course.
don't get it where people are like serious.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Well, that's a weird thing, but
It's
I feel like you have to be serious to ask in most cases, because I feel like if it's like for a joke, you'd be like, "Oh, well, like it's kind of weird," you know.
no, I do it. I'm
Well,
like, hey,
if they're then you
I'm
say like,
streaming too. That's
Yeah.
different.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's a bit odd, I would say.
I like when I get sat on. That's cool.
Really?
Yeah, I had this one chick. I think her name was like Jenny Belly. I'm gonna feel so bad for mispronouncing her name. She's super sweet. She sees me like every con, and she's like, "Oh, yo, Tech, you want to sit on you again?" And I'm like, "All right,
Oh my god.
here we go. Here you go, stream."
Was she the
Cat
one
loves
with
it.
that like you took the picture with on like
Yeah.
the last one? Yeah, with the other girl. Yeah, that's what I thought.
That shit cool.
Oh my god. I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll go to one of those conventions. The last convention I went to, like besides like BlizzCon, well, I went to TwitchCon too. Like I've never been to a convention and people weren't weird. Like they're I mean like they're normal, right? But it's a convention normal, right? But
I had 3 weird experiences. But what happened with you?
Oh no, not like weird in that way. It's just like there's a lot of people there. It's super loud, etc. Right? It's just kind of it's a bit much for me.
I had some weird experiences at this anime expo.
What happened to you?
Well, okay, the first one was just funny. Like, he just, like, messed up. There was this guy that came up to me and asked for a picture, and, like, we took the picture, and as he was walking away, he was like, I love you, and he was like, I love your content, and then I see him walk, I was like, and then outside the con, after I was done streaming, someone came up to me, and they gave great streamer thank you, and inside of it was, like, $300 cash.
Yeah,
IRL dono.
IRL dono.
That's so cool.
Oh my god, that is crazy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, those aren't, like, that bad as far as con
I've
experiences
had people
go.
give me like $1 in real life.
That's
you know,
sick.
like, I never had
I remember that.
$8, like a letter like that. Oh my god,
Dude, 8 more of those dollar donos, and you get the Nacho Supreme from Taco Bell.
it's actually crazy how expensive it is. It really is. I can't believe it. It's like $9, $8 for nachos. I used to get for $1. It's
Imagine
sad.
that.
Yep.
I had I had a couple weird experiences at the con, but one really stuck out. There's this one guy who like, he was a viewer of mine, and I used to play like Among Us with my viewers all the time.
Yeah.
This fucking weird fuck comes up. I'm not even gonna say his name. It doesn't deserve the acknowledgement. He's like cross-banded me and every single one of my friends like
What the
servers.
heck?
And he comes up. He got a photo with you too.
Really?
Yeah. And for me, I was like, nah, I'm good. He's like, yo, Techie, it's been a long time, huh? And I'm like, who the fuck are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm so-and-so.
Wait, what did he do to get banned? Or is this not
And
a...
now we're talking about on here.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
Okay.
It's weird.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey man, I don't give a fuck about you at all.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'll go get you a picture of Emerald. And I'm like, okay, dude.
It's not my problem. Yeah.
Some dudes, I don't get how they like think like, oh, I banned you in my chat and on my Discord and across all of my platforms. I would like to meet you in real life. I'm good, bro.
I think that they just get off on the confrontation that you can't be too mean to them, so you just have to tolerate them to an extent.
I do.
Yeah.
Like, I do not want to talk to you, brother. I'm good.
Yeah.
Fucking weird fucks, man. Other than that, it was great. And there was an Ifrit statue from Final Fantasy 16.
Really? How big was it?
Fucking enormous. It was like 7 tectons, like worth of meat.
What
like
the fuck?
thickness and height.
That is crazy.
You saw it, huh?
Is that the...
Big black
Yeah,
dragon.
that one was cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was like 50 emerus. That shit was nuts.
How is that 7 you but 50 me?
That's
No
all right.
way.
Yeah.
Like 105?
Yeah, so I'm like 240.
That math still doesn't check out.
It's got to be close.
Something like that, you know, you just, yeah, who knows?
But other than that got me to another thing that I want to talk about, which is it is really fucking hot.
It is crazy how hot it is. It is hot everywhere. Like, I am dying. Like, the world is dying. The planet is dying. The plants are dying. The animals are dying.
And do you
Everything
really
is
need
dying.
anyone else?
Yeah.
Isn't
That's
that-
what I was thinking up there when I said that, yeah. And recorded. It's
Are we
kind of
dying
nuts.
soon?
Dude, I had to do something very rare when I came here, which was it's so hot where I put my phone on like the thing.
Yeah.
The heat coming through my window made my phone shut down. So I had to like
Jesus.
figure out how to
God.
get back here. I think like it's been 23 weeks. I should know how to get here by now.
Yeah.
But that shit was rough, man. It's fucking hot. And what I don't get is
It's
hot.
nasty. Like even in the shade, it's just nasty. Like the air is burning. I have an outdoor rabbit. I had to bring them inside because it was so hot.
Not Bunky though, because they're gone.
I don't have Bunky anymore. Yeah.
What happened to Bunky?
I gave them to someone else.
Okay.
Yeah, I rehomed some of my rabbits.
Which one of
Also,
your-
it was,
which one of your
it was
rabbits
Bungie. Also, it was Bungie.
Oh, Bungie.
Bungie is the cat.
Bunky cat,
Yeah, he
Bungie.
liked Bungie because I had this rabbit. But you're like the rabbit girl. Do you want him?
Yeah.
And like, so I got Bungie because this person was like, "Hey, no one wants this fucking rabbit because its eyes are bugging out of its head. Do you want it for $5?" So I bought this rabbit for $5, and his eyes were like bulging out of his head. But he was so sweet.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be worried. Like, you know, you don't excite them or they're going to pop out, you know? Yeah.
Like I've getting to the point where when I talk about the weather now, I feel like I'm like, oh, I'm an old fuck. But there's
Yeah,
actually
right.
like, people are like, oh, how's the weather? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, oh yeah, there's like magma coming from the sky, which I don't know
Yeah.
how it's getting this hot. I guess global warming. Guys, it's real. Holy shit, who would have thought? That's insane. So what do we do, Asman? How do we save the planet?
Well, you stay inside with the AC on. That's what you have to do. You have to stay inside with the AC on, and that way you don't have to deal with it. Yeah, it says 4th of July, hottest day on Earth, as many as 125,000 years.
125,000 years.
Yeah, well, that seems
That's like
that-
unfathomable.
Yep, that's totally normal, guys. Carry on as usual.
can't even prove
Nothing
that
to see
because
here,
that-
nothing wrong. Everything's totally fine.
Crap.
Yeah.
What if it is just a coincidence?
Coincidences.
So here's my question. If they're worried about the polar ice caps melting, why don't they just put a bunch of ice in the ocean?
Well, they
Cool.
can't.
Those deep ice.
Why don't they just put it in a refrigerator?
Yeah, I don't know, Tectone.
Why don't they have everybody one day open up their door and just like put their AC on outside?
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm
cool the
saying.
planet.
That makes sense to me. What the heck?
Why don't they take all the hot air and put it in space?
Right.
Yeah.
We're all adults here. You ever like go to a pool and then kids just say hella out of pocket shit? Or have y'all not experienced that yet?
What do you mean?
Like there's this whole meme on the internet that I never thought was real, but I go swimming with my buddy LaRoe, which apparently is a meme now when I bring that guy up. But anyways, me and my buddy LaRoe go swimming all the time. And kids just say horrendously depressing shit. It's like you'll just be walking around, you'd be at a pool, and they're like, how come my daddy put everything in boxes and left the house? Why doesn't he do a backflip?
What the fuck?
Pool, bro. You haven't seen that?
No, I've never had that happen.
It's so funny. This is a random side note. But yeah, global warming's bad, guys.
I wonder if the kids that do that are doing it because it's actually true or they're doing it because they want a reaction. And they have like their other friend recording
I
a
feel like
fucking TikTok
kids
of you.
know. Like, do you not see like some of the kid, well, like on TikTok, have you seen like schizo posting what these kids are making? These horrible like SpongeBob memes.
What are they doing with SpongeBob?
They'll use these like creepy audios. They'll use like SpongeBob clip cutouts, and then they'll just write these awful fucking prompts like, oh, when you're in your basement and the corpse you've kept in there, the creature starts eating it, but you've been saving it. And it's like these like 12-year-olds are making this.
What?
Yeah, I can see myself doing that as well. Yeah, for
Wait,
sure.
on TikTok?
Look up schizo posting on TikTok. I'm being serious. It's like all these horrible SpongeBob videos.
I've never heard. The only schizo posting I've seen is Two Matt on Twitter.
Okay.
What is going on with
That's a good one.
schizo?
Uh,
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
You
Oh my
haven't seen
God.
this?
Oh, I
I,
mean,
I told you I wasn't
I've seen some
exaggerating.
stuff like that, yeah.
Fuck that,
Um,
bro. That is creepy as shit. I wish I did not look that up. That is horrifying imagery immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
I mean, well, I don't know. Like, whenever I was in middle school and like early high school, I did a bunch of weird shit like that too. I don't think it was really like it's just kids being kids.
No, I mean, I get it at middle school. and, like,
One
high
time when I
school,
was 12 and showed the quarter up my ass during
Yeah,
therapy.
sure. Yeah. I mean, that's just what kids do. Kids do all kinds of crazy shit. Like there used to be kids that would like kill car salesmen.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're just weird fucking ass kids. Like that's it. There's nothing to it to me.
Did you guys see that?
I just write it off.
It was like an Instagram influencer who like she went on a podcast and admitted to like killing cats when she was a kid and lost all of her sponsors. Like, what the fuck did you think? What is wrong with people? Why would you?
How many did she get?
I don't know.
Like
do you
2 or
mean
3
she get?
cats? Like, I mean, 5 cats? Like, what are you talking about? Is this like a
She's an
factory?
evil fucking person. Like,
She's
what
just
did she
crazy.
think was going to happen?
Well, she's just nuts.
How'd you kill him?
I don't even know. I didn't read that deep into it.
Probably hit him with a stick.
I had,
I
I,
don't
had
know.
a, I had a relative who would like really hate animals.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in the South, or well, Woodstock, Virginia. Like kill animals or like maim them and then skin them alive.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
So many reasons. Just
Oh,
incredibly
like
fuck-
animal, like what, do you have a bad experience
rabbits,
with one?
squirrels, just anything. He just hated life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he would maim animals, skin them alive, and then like nail them to like
So
trees
then, did
and
he
shit.
like murder his wife or
So
something?
what's he doing now?
I don't want to say.
Is he in jail?
Yeah, that's what I'd say. Is he in jail?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want him to come
I
after
think-
me,
I
but I'm
think
just
you
saying it was
know.
weird. Yeah, it's that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that guy.
That's crazy. I never really had any of that stuff happen or any of that. It's just I usually expect like kids. Whenever I see kids doing like weird, like crazy, creepy shit, I just write it off. I'm like, it's kids being kids. Most of the time, especially with like internet trends, people just do stuff and it's like they don't even really know what's going on in their head. So they just act like whatever they think is going to get a reaction.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know what's a horrifying image to think about?
What?
It's the hottest day on Earth. You're like, oh, okay, well, it only got to like 106, like
Yeah.
66 Fahrenheit.
Mhm.
Sun gets hot. You just see like a beam come to that ozone layer.
Yeah.
107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113. We all just melt because we couldn't fucking take care of the ozone issue by putting ice cubes in the ocean because the government just doesn't get it.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to solve global warming, guys. I have no fucking idea.
But it has, man.
But it seems.
First of all, everybody should drive electronic cars.
I don't know if that's better or not. Maybe it is.
Okay.
Well, the manufacturing of the cars takes time, and the manufacturing of the batteries might take energy. And
Ignorant
pollution.
question.
I don't know.
Ignorant question. Can the ozone layer heal, or is it just like we have to like stop making it worse?
I don't know.
I think it can, but we need to find like a shaman, and they like take a long time in the queue.
Yeah, like will it recuperate if we stop like harming it, or is it just like this is the best it's gonna get? We just can't make it worse.
If I had to guess, as somebody who got a C in chemistry, I would say that there is probably a equilibrium that if you don't do anything, it will trend back towards that. Like,
okay.
I don't think it necessarily heals, but it will gradually improve to where like
Gotcha.
it is at its natural state.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was asking.
I think. Like,
Are you looking it
the
up?
fuck do I know?
Yeah, I'm Googling it.
I feel like that's like the dumbest way to phrase it. Can the ozone layer
Yeah.
heal like we're in a
Can it
fucking video
respawn?
game?
Does it respawn or not?
What's the spawn time around a new ozone?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Solar panels are good.
Okay.
Okay.
Speak up is the best way to make an impact on global warming. Power your home with renewable energy.
Oh wait, most of the world within 2 decades, following decisive
All
action
right.
by governments to phase out ozone depleting substances, a new UN assessment. So does that mean like it will in 20 years, or it will if the government
People
does
not
heal?
stressed
My
out.
question wasn't that dumb.
There it is.
Panels,
Says
that's fine
report.
with me.
Yeah, hey, I'll eat double the
It's
vegetables
because
for
it's
you.
because cows are bad for global warming, right? Isn't that
What
what
the
it
fuck
is?
cows do? They drive cars?
Apparently,
their
literally,
gas.
cows fart, and it creates a lot of ozone and like gas and stuff. I know it sounds crazy, but that's actually true.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is. And like that's been a big thing, like for a long time. Like people say that. I assume that like on an individual level, you're probably not doing a lot to affect ozone
Methane.
and like global warming or anything. But like you have some massive fucking ship that has, it's like the size of a city that's going across the ocean. I bet that's what's causing it right there. So like stop shipping things from Europe.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just email it.
You
What
don't
the
need to
fuck?
go over there. Yeah, leave them over there. Leave them alone. Yeah,
Why
you
why
don't
they
need
bring
their
on the ship
shit.
when you just email that shit, bro?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, 3D print it. Yeah. No, I bet that's what it really is. I don't know though. Like it is insane. Like I see all the time people trying to like debate global warming and like say that it's fake and everything like that. I actually think that it's kind of funny because usually I feel like people have gotten progressively more insane. Have y'all seen that picture of that lady in the airplane who thought that there was a lizard person on the airplane?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Oh yeah, she was going absolutely apeshit because she was certain that there was a person on the airplane who was a lizard in
Like a
disguise.
specific person, or she's like, there's someone here, I can
I don't
smell
remember. I mean, it doesn't matter. But like,
Imagine being that specific person and just
Yeah.
being like, please, man,
like,
I'm just
what can I
trying
do
to
to tell
take
her?
my
Yeah,
flight.
like imagine like being that lizard person being
Yeah.
called out. It's one of those,
Yeah.
oh, come on, man.
like, oh, what the fuck,
Oh my
man? Like,
God.
I'm trying to take over the world, and like,
Okay,
yo,
so
you're messing it
people
up.
that think global warming is a conspiracy, what do they think is the purpose of it? Like, like the government's just saying it?
Basically, the purpose of it is to enact a universal government, or one world government, where the climate is like the quote priority, and there's also something called a carbon tax that makes people have to pay more money to the government, and it's basically a method of control where the government can feel like they have the authority to mandate what you do with your life.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty much standard conspiracy. Not really that crazy.
Yeah, why are they all related to the government?
Well, because those are the only people that matter. Like, who gives a shit what some, like, was there a conspiracy about, like, what the, I don't know, like, some random ass company does? Who gives a shit?
But it's crazy.
Fuck 'em.
It's like a form of like apocalypse, like
Yeah.
death by sun, which might be the new anime season.
What's that?
There's a show called Zom 100, which is gonna be fucking awesome. I think you would love it.
What is it?
It's about this dude who's horribly depressed in his 9-to-5 job. Like, just doesn't do anything with his fucking life. Just goes to
Okay.
work, and he's pretty much like a zombie every day.
I can see why you'd say I'd like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then here's the best part: a zombie apocalypse happens. Everybody's like, he goes to school. He goes up to his job. This is all in the first episode. Goes to his job. And he finds his boss like getting completely eaten by zombies.
Yeah.
He doesn't get afraid. He doesn't care. He gets stoked, and
Right.
he just immediately decides, "There's a zombie apocalypse happening, man. I'm gonna start living my life before I get killed." And he
Sure.
has this 100 things he wants to do before he kicks the bucket by being eaten by a zombie.
Okay.
I used to think about this. You know, when you think about when you're a kid, you're like, "Oh, it was awesome. It'd be so cool if there was a zombie apocalypse." And then you realize it would be literally the worst thing on planet Earth.
Well, because I would assume they would mess up the electricity. It wouldn't be able to play games. Like, it would just, like, fuck up everything, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I never thought that. Absolutely not.
You don't think it would be cooler to shoot zombies in the head than it would be play video game?
I mean, like, no, because then they could bite you or something like that.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah,
bad.
then you also have to be like fit and like, eat well, take care of yourself to like be in shape and stuff.
It's a lot of work.
That's true. But there's also a reassurance thing, where it's like when
What's
you
that?
go down, nobody else is coming. So like, we're all
Right.
dead. There it is. Peace.
That's an interesting way to look at it. I like that. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good way to see it. I still am not looking forward to a zombie apocalypse, though. Yeah, I don't know about that. Like, to me, I just, like, I don't ever think something like that's going to happen, honestly.
No,
And
no way.
Yeah, I never worry about, like, it's the same as, like, the ozone layer, like a solar flare. Everybody just gets incinerated from the sun. Like, if this shit happens, it happens, right? You get hit by a car. It is what it is. So I don't really think about that stuff a lot, or really, like, I try not to get too anxious about it or stressed out.
I like fantasize about it.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's cool as shit.
What would you do if there's a zombie apocalypse?
I'd die.
Okay.
But if I didn't die, I would. I don't know, man. A lot of people. The biggest question is: would you stay by yourself or would you make a group?
Yeah.
I would make a group.
Yeah, I'd make a group too.
immediately.
I feel like that's what you have to do.
Yeah. As much as I want to be like Daryl from The Walking Dead, I'm good, bro. I'd just get my boys, unless they sucked.
Yeah.
Now the real question is, what would you do during a zombie apocalypse if you made a group and one of your friends betrayed you?
Well, how would they betray you? How are they going to betray
They
you?
like eat all the food. Like you have rations, and then they eat all the food.
Oh shit.
Well, I mean,
That'd
like,
be
what
fucked.
do you do? I mean, like,
You gotta slice their head off, man.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't get the food back.
Eat them.
I mean, then that has its own problems.
Maybe.
It does. I looked it up.
What does
Wait,
it
like
do?
what? Cannibalism?
Yeah, it does. That's why. Did you guys ever see the Book of Eli? If you're shaking, that means that you're a cannibal.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Or they just make this
Is
shit
it
up.
just the brain or other parts?
Yeah, because I'm not sure about that.
Why does that happen? Is it like brain chemicals?
Like pyrons. They're like a special thing inside of a brain. I don't even really know what they are. But yeah, don't eat them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like the government is just making up lies to keep us from doing what we
You
need
think
to
so?
do. Yeah, because imagine if like, you're fighting somebody,
Uh-huh.
and like mid-fight, you like knock him out,
Mhm.
and you start eating his foot. You know?
Like
Imagine how much
bath
that-
salts, like a bath salts situation.
Yeah, exactly. Like imagine like how much that would fuck somebody up in the brain.
I mean,
Imagine like fighting somebody, and they start to eat you mid-fight.
I feel like if that happened to me, it would just be so insane that I would just pretend like it never happened.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would just completely write it off as some bullshit, and it's like it never happened. It's just crazy. I don't even know what this was.
Yep. That'd be fucked up. What was some shit that you think the government has just lied to us? You have anything like that? Like to quote
government-
unquote protect us, they just make up these lies.
Oh
that we have
god,
to-
I don't want to answer this question.
You don't have to. You don't have to. Tell me after that. 'cause
Okay,
I'm
I'll
curious.
just say there's probably a lot of things that they know that they just don't want to tell everyone because it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
about
I-
like incidents that have happened and things.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, I think that there's probably like weird false flags and crazy shit that's happened. The government just doesn't tell people because it's just better that people don't know.
Yeah, like why even tell them?
Yeah. No, there is 0% possibility that we have not been contacted by aliens.
I think that there is a like 99% possibility that we haven't been.
But there's a chance though.
Of course.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no way aliens aren't real. There's no way.
I mean, I mean, there is definitely a way. I just think that it's very unlikely. I think that aliens do exist.
I feel like if you don't believe in aliens, you're either horribly depressed, right, or incredibly spiritual. Because I just feel like there's no way to actually think that we are the only life forms in the entire universe.
Well, it's really big, right? And
It's
like, so you
big.
roll the dice that many
Now they're getting into the Fermi paradox over here.
times, and you'll probably get one or two, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, who knows? I mean, I don't expect that. Like, what if we did contact aliens and they were just really stupid? Like, they were like
what if we're
really,
really
really dumb.
stupid?
And they say what?
I said, what if we're really stupid?
Yeah, what if we're the stupid aliens?
I think we definitely are.
Yeah, that could be possible.
I mean, for a good example, the iPhone.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it's the dumbest shit ever.
Really? Why?
What do you
It's a
mean?
fucking same phone, slight upgrade every year. They charge $1 billion for it.
Okay, but it's smart to the people who made it because then they're making a ton of money.
Yeah, but it's dumb to the millions who bought it. Because the people who made the iPhone are this lizard
Sure,
people.
but they like it. That's why they spend money on it. It's not because they think they need it.
That's the problem is that they like it.
There's a lot of things that we like that are like a
Wanna know
waste of
why?
money.
Because we're the dumb ones.
I don't know.
That's the
there it is.
problem.
Okay.
It comes
Yep.
right. It comes full circle, huh?
Yep, because we're the fucking dumb ones. I'm 100%. There's no fucking way anybody convinced me that we are smart. There's no fucking way.
Aren't you both Android users?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have an Android as well, but I
You
don't.
have an
I
iPhone
just
now?
like iPhones. I don't know.
Why?
Yeah.
What's good about them?
I like the interface. Okay, so what happened was
She's sponsored.
I got
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
you say. So I got the phone for free from a sponsor.
There it is.
Alrighty.
And so I started using it again. And I was like, hey, I
Great
actually
phone,
like
guys.
this.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an Apple sponsor. It was like a mobile game sponsor that wanted me to play on the phone.
And they just gave you a phone? Holy shit.
yeah.
That's
You know, the
weird.
sponsor I really hope I get pretty soon.
Mhm.
Boulders Gate, motherfucking 3.
Mm.
I cannot wait. That's my child.
Did y'all see the scene where the dude has sex with a bear?
What?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like there's a dialogue option that you can have sex with a druid in bear form.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah.
I was
like
wondering
that
my
guy
buddy-
with the blonde hair looking at the bear. Yeah, that's what it was.
I was wondering why my buddies were talking about it fucking bears. And now that makes more because we were all talking about Diablo 3 because I was playing.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What do you think, Emmy? Cool.
That's bestiality.
No, I'm wondering,
Yeah.
like, why would you have to do that?
You don't have to. It's like an iPhone.
It's a
Oh,
bonus.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, it's like a bonus event, right?
I'm gonna do it.
Bro.
Oh, I got it.
Bro, no.
That is crazy.
No.
Doing that on stream?
No, Tectone.
That would be so
I would
funny.
absolutely do it. Yeah.
Bro, when I get called a furry.
Yeah.
No, dude, that's just way too fun to do on stream, bro.
I think that the people that are furries are the ones that are afraid to even express any type of like feelings about it, you
Yeah.
know? Because they're like, they don't want to be seen as like, oh, they're like embarrassed about it or trying to hide it or whatever. But people who are actually just not furries don't mind making jokes about it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
What are you
that's-
trying to say?
No, I'm just saying it is what it is, right? Like
Well,
that's
all
it.
I said was I said on stream, if I had a Sonic persona and suddenly everyone thinks I'm a furry.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No way. No way.
What the fuck?
That is not real. That can't be real. That's real?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's in Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
I mean, I heard they were like animating like orc facials.
What?
Well, it's a different kind of facial.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's because we like bust on an orc's face. But bear sex, that's
Okay,
crazy.
what kind of game is this? Is this not what I think it is?
No, it's exactly what you think.
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
like D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
It's a fantasy game.
Yep.
so is it like a porn game?
No.
No. It's like, oh, you play Mass Effect?
No, but I've watched it be played.
It's like that. Only, well, where the dialogue
okay,
options are like
sure.
Mass Effect
Where
options.
there's like ways to.
Yeah, there's ways to
okay.
frick people.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
essentially, it's like a what? Top down. I would say probably turn based. It's not real time.
It's a turn-based game.
Yeah. I just don't know how to. I know how to play. I just don't know what the genre would be. It hurts my brain thinking about. You play as characters.
Well,
they
it's
do
an
moves.
RPG. It's just a straight up RPG
Oh, yeah,
game.
it's an RPG. Okay.
Yeah. Like I'll probably play it to some extent. I don't know if I'll play the whole thing through because like the games are kind of long. But it's really impressive to see how much like effort they put into it. Like I had no idea they were gonna like do all this.
Took my eyeballs.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and then my character was blind forever.
Oh my god.
And I was like, and then I wanted to go fix it, and it said you can't fix it because you're in the beta. And then I'm like, all right. Then I did it again. I got my eyeball stolen again.
You just couldn't get away from it?
No, she kept taking my
Yeah.
eyeballs.
Well, what games are you guys also excited for?
Oh, fucking Armored Core.
Armored Core. Oh yeah, yeah.
Holy shit. I mean, have you seen that?
What's that?
Yeah, when I call it Mecha Dark Souls, people say Bat Chest. But it's a mech game made by.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw
I made a
that.
video as well. You didn't see it though, but it was cool.
I didn't see it. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it was badass. I love that game. People aren't excited about that. I'm excited.
Well, I think that people just, I think they're excited, but it's definitely like a smaller audience. Because like you remember mech games used to be so popular back in like the early 2000s, and like now nobody talks about mech games. I don't know what happened. Like, they used to be massive.
Yeah, I mean, I got tired of the mech trope because I think it's really the person piloting is like, ugh, and I'm like,
I don't know. I
it's
think that's like that was like a Pacific Rim thing. Like,
Evan Gilliam. I believe Gurren Lagann as well. Shit, Iron-Blooded Orphans, I believe. Oh God, there's probably even more too. Then they made Attack on Titan, which is the first mech anime that's flesh mechs. You know, I don't know, man. I think it's dumb as shit. It's like you're in a robot suit. That being said, I just saw Pacific Rim the first time the other day.
So what?
Pacific Rim.
Okay.
That's a good ass movie. Have you seen that?
No.
That's fucking good.
That's old, right?
It's 80% bad, 20% insane. And the fact that like nothing else, like big kaijus, monsters fighting big fucking monsters. I don't know how there's not more of that in today's society. And apparently Pacific Rim 2 sucked balls.
I never watched the second one. Usually those movies, it's like the first one's really good or it's at least, you know, decent. And then after that, it's more just like fan service and just like, you know, doing the same thing, but like dialing.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to know what's going on with Diablo 4?
Nothing.
Is that bad?
No. It's like people are unhappy that the game doesn't have infinite content. Like people compare it with Path of Exile, which is like everybody stopped playing PoE. Like I don't understand the logic, right? Because like people have already stopped playing PoE for the league, like usually about a month into the game. Like that's just how it is. And whenever it happens with Diablo, before even the first season comes out, everybody acts like it's the end of the world. So yeah, I think Diablo season's coming out on like the 20th or something like that. And they're going to add in a bit more content, not a whole lot, but they're adding in a bit more. So yeah, I mean, everything's good with Diablo. Have you guys played it anymore?
I
Not
played
since
a
the day we all
sponsor
played.
with these two great people. It was awesome. It was a blast. But I
That
haven't
must have been
played,
great, yeah.
I haven't played too much Dark Souls to play more Diablo.
Oh yeah, I saw you've been playing 3. How far are you in now?
Apparently where I'm at, my chat's telling me I'm under-leveled because I'm like level like 35 and I just beat this guy. He's made of magma, got a big old club. He's passed a worm with a ballista.
And he's surrounded by like corpses of similar looking dudes? Oh, okay.
So I just beat that dude and I had a weapon that my chat said was OP. So I got rid of it. And I'm using the
I don't know what it's called.
you have a dagger and you
Yeah, a
have
dagger
a great
and a
sword,
big sword, yeah.
right? And you stab the dagger in the ground, and then you sweep, and then you stab it again, and you sweep.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
actually
you
pretty cool.
fling yourself forward, do a front flip,
Oh,
and then
that's
you
cool.
slam the great sword. Apparently, it's like horrible, but it looks so cool. So I'm still
You just
killing
keep
shit
using
with
it,
it.
yeah.
It's cool as fuck. And then apparently, there's a big old hammer in the game, and so whenever I get that, I'm gonna use that shit.
Oh, Lito's hammer. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like fucking enormous. Because my buddy, who I live, her name's Pink, she only used that hammer, and she couldn't beat the game. So now I have to beat the game using the weapon that she
to
couldn't beat
show
with.
that you're better than she is.
Yeah, of course. I have to assert my dominance.
Well, how many times did you die in a game?
I think I just broke 50.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah,
That's not
it's
a lot
actually
at
pretty
all.
good.
I think on bosses though, I haven't broke 30, but I've
Okay.
died a lot in the overworld because when I play, I don't know. Apparently, chat says I'm cheating the way I play Because the trash mobs, I just don't want to fight them. I have no interest at all. Unless it's like a Black Knight.
Right.
Or like a big dude. Like, I don't want to go around killing dogs.
Yeah,
like,
people
I'm good.
just complain no matter what. That's not cheating. Like I do the same thing. I'll run past mobs because like it's like I already killed them. I don't want to fight them again. But then they won't say I'm cheating. They'll be like, oh, you're being lazy. You gotta like kill them all.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just people want you to play the same way they played.
No, but like,
you know?
but like killing these mobs is the biggest bitch way to play the fucking game, and I mean that because like a fucking dog 90 times in a row, bro. It's so lame.
I think it's my favorite.
Really?
Actually, maybe I liked 1 more, but I think 1 was more fun for me since it was like super fresh.
Did either of y'all actually finish Dark Souls 2?
I haven't. I can't. I'm like stuck in it right now.
What do you mean you're stuck?
So I have like the half health thing where it's like permanently half health, and I've bought all the effigies, and I'm just like, well, I can fight this boss, but I have to do it perfectly because if he hits me twice, I'm fucking dead because I have half my health bar. So I just kind of like, it's on the back burner, I guess.
Just get hit once.
Yeah.
So I have this thing about Dark Souls 2 where I'm pretty sure I haven't played it. Remember? And it's like a 2-year span. And I might have played it, but I also might. So when I play it, I'll know. And the life gems just seem really familiar. But there is a Dark Souls game that I played. I'm not sure which one it is. And like, you walk into this zone, and there's like an ocean, and then there's like this big
That's
statue.
Souls 2.
I might have beaten it like
that's Souls 2.
I might have beaten the shit out of it multiple times.
Really?
Yeah, but there's like this 2-year period of my life. I just cannot remember.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, so I
Maybe
might.
you did beat it.
You ever play Mass Effect?
No, never.
Oh,
I love that game.
Touches like this obelisk, and he gains like memories of all of his like past lives and shit.
Uh-huh.
So that might happen whenever I play Dark Souls 2. I plan on playing it,
Okay.
and I also plan on doing Souls level 1 on Dark Souls or Demon Souls. But I can't tell which one chat likes more.
Dark Souls definitely.
Yeah.
Demon Souls is it's too niche because like people either didn't have a PS3 or they don't have a PS5.
Then I'm gonna Souls level 1.
Yeah.
Dark Souls. I think I have to.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm a petty bitch. I'm an absolute petty bitch, and I just need people to just shut the fuck up. And if I beat Dark Souls on Souls level 1, I have no idea how the fuck I'm gonna beat Manus. I have no idea. But I feel like if I do that, then people will just get off me, bro. The Emmy better, Asmon better. Every stream I played Dark
I saw
Souls
that a lot.
Is
especially during Abyss Watchers.
It is
a lot.
Wait, which one's Abyss Watchers?
The
the ones that
with the 2 guys with the sword, and then like you kill one of them, and then he has a
Another one?
fire sword.
he has a fire sword. I don't even remember that one.
So you start the fight. It's one dude. Then another guy gets up. Then
I think
another
I
guy
one
gets up.
shot him, so I don't remember.
You did not.
I was trying to upset
Yeah.
him. You ruined it.
Okay.
No, that fight was rough.
Oh wait, that's like the guys that are like the wolf pack.
Yeah, kind
Yeah,
of.
okay, I remember that. yeah.
That might be one of the few times where I was so beyond tilt I could not function in Dark Souls.
You were having a bad
You
time.
should have let me
I
tilt
was.
him, bro. Why'd you
Yeah.
correct me?
Did you see how that stream ended?
Yes, I watched it.
Yeah,
It was a good time.
I was. There's
Oh my God,
a lot
it's
of people
funny.
see me and they're like, "Oh, look at how angry he is. Look at all this."
Oh, yeah.
There's a big difference between me playing angry and me actually being fucking furious.
You were like depressed.
Oh yeah.
You were not happy. You were having a very, very bad time.
Oh, it was bad. I rarely, because my chat is like, they're like, oh, this is so perishable to say. Like, I love talking to my chat. They're just
Right, yeah.
good. I know, like, there's like a big chunk, like 200 of them. I've talked to all of them on like Discord via when we play Among Us and all that, because I do a community Among Us nights, at least until it got weird.
Yeah.
So I recognize the names. They're always fun to talk to. They're always nice. That was not my chat that day.
Mhm.
I don't know where those fucking creatures came from, but they were unearthly. And I was
Probably my viewers, that came over there, and yeah, probably.
Yeah, mine.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to get?
What?
Oh, I was so proud. I was playing Dark Souls last night, and I was like 5 hours into it, and then all of a sudden I get like 7 or 8. Asmon's live. See, I was stoked.
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess you're right. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool, dude. I
Do
think
people
that's
still do that? That's so crazy. I should get banned for it. So that doesn't really last for very long.
I VIP'd one of them. I thought it was
Yeah.
sick. I love that, especially when people say other things like Aethel. Like people say somebody who like think it's cool. They're like, all right, this guy's live on the leave. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
see you,
But
man.
why
Enjoy the
even? But
stream.
why even say it?
It'll be a dick.
Yeah, just being a dick.
Just
yeah.
be a dick.
So funny.
Fuck.
I just like every time somebody does that, I usually just completely ignore it or ban them or whatever.
Yeah.
I just ignore him. Like, okay,
Okay.
why even?
Yep.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Tech McTone with your day-to-day, and this just in, Manscaped. Our sponsor today now sells beard products. The new Beard Hedger Pro Kit is causing the public masses to act crazy. What I'm trying to say is there is turmoil and panic, and everyone is attacking each other. The streets aren't safe. But your beard can be. Just look at my flawless beard. It's a shining monument to the absolute majesty that can be afforded to you with the Manscaped new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. But what does that come with? Easy. We got the Beard Hedger, a rotary blade trimmer which is waterproof, has over 20 hair cutting length with one guard. That's insane! Then we got the beard shampoo and the beard conditioner, specifically made to moisturize, reduce ingrown hairs, replace natural oils, and promote beard health. What else could you possibly ask for? Beard oil to help you not be the crusty beard guy. That's disgusting. Lastly, there's the beard balm that helps shape, shine, make your beard look brand spanking new. But
I'm talking to my friend. I plan on one of my goals in my life too. One of my goals since I was a kid was to make a coffee shop. Shop/galleria. And possibly have like nights and make evening bakery snacks.
gifts, a beard brush, a beard comb, and my God, you get scissors. But what do I know? There's an unbiased news anchor with a great beard. I didn't want to say this, but everyone is talking about your weird beard behind your back. People are following you around and watching you. The only way to make it stop is to clean up that beard. Also, there's people in your wall. Get 20% off free shipping with code STEAK at manscaped.com. That's 20% off free shipping at manscaped.com and use code STEAK. Manscaped, beard hedger, 1 stroke, 1 guard, 20 lengths. Tech McDone, signing off.
Oh, by the way, I heard there was supposed to be, y'all seen S-Fan and NMP stream of the Friends?
Yeah, that's Twitch Paris.
Yeah.
I thought there was riots. But I don't see none.
I mean, I bet it's probably just in different places. It's the same as like the media. Like there's probably riots in like different places in France.
Yeah.
And people just don't go to those places.
Yeah, because I was worried about their safety because I've been watching the stream like constantly, but apparently where they're at is very tame.
Yeah.
Because I think what happens? Like somebody died by the police officers, right?
Somebody got shot by a police officer. Yeah.
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 It was a complicated situation, but like over there, it's like, you know, they're completely different than like we are over here.
Yeah, it's awful to hear about.
So yeah, like I saw it and like I wasn't really that surprised because usually like with any of those protests or anything like that, like there's like a lifespan to it, and then eventually people would just ignore it. You know, that's it.
Yeah.
They get bored.
Yeah, they say 72 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways, off of a dark topic, there's nothing I want to talk about. Which one was it? It was fucking hilarious. Oh yeah, Mayor Words.
Go for it.
He gave us TV because he saw the Neanders VTube episode. He gave me a message to read. Hello, my name is Tectone, and this is how I talk. I just wanted to say how much I appreciate Mayor Word sending us a TV so I can meet my favorite waifus. Not only is he extremely attractive with a killer mustache, he also makes me want to be a better person, especially so that LSF doesn't attack me anymore. TBH, I wish I had a father figure like Mayor Wirtz in my life. Boy, is that guy cool. Thank you, Mayor Wirtz, for showing me the true meaning of friendship. I also want to take this time to announce that I am no longer going to be playing any anime-style video games or watching any anime.
Wow,
I am now going to invest my time into watching Frasier. Thank you for understanding.
Like a real man.
Dude, you know what's crazy? LSF, I think we're cool. I think we're chilling.
Really?
Yep, I think we're good, man.
I think usually after LSF hates people for long enough, they get bored of it, and then they start liking them. And then after they like them for long enough, they get bored of it, and then
Yeah,
they
that's
start
what I
hating
was
them.
saying. There's like a 6-month cycle.
Yeah.
Like anytime I see someone on LSF where it's like LSF loves them, it's like in 6 months they'll hate them. Like without fail.
That's really sad.
And then 6 months later they'll like them again.
Oh yeah, I saw a post on you.
About what?
Asmongold scams viewers of $200,000 charity goal.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
What the fuck was
Wait,
that?
what was that?
So I haven't done a video. So I was supposed to do a video where I went over all of the screenshots from Cataclysm, and I told the story of like the expansion, like how I played through it, and I haven't done it yet. And I told people I would do it for the charity. So everybody is getting pissed off at me. They're like, bro, you need to do this. And it's like, yes, I do. Like, I will do it. But like people turned it into something totally fucking different.
That you
They're
scam
like,
people
that
$200,000.
I took the money, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah, where it's like, I never had the money. It just went direct to the charity. You know, people donated directly, but yeah. That's what it was. I was really surprised to see how many people got mad about it, but it's not really that surprising, especially because, like, you know, a lot of those clips, they're cut in a way that gives an impression that's different than like what really happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That shit. Well, okay, I'm not gonna lie. It was a little bit comforting to say, which is weird to say.
Yeah.
But I like seeing my friends go through shit that obviously isn't real, because then I'm like, okay, so I'm not crazy. It happens to
Yeah,
other
then
fucking
like
people.
you'll see like when you read that shit, you're like, what? This is obviously not true. And, like, you
100%.
feel then you're like you realize people feel that way when they say those things about you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But it was also, I brought it up on stream. I was like, bro, guys, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. The fact that, I don't know, man. People can just make shit up. Like, the agenda is so fucking obvious. It's ridiculous.
Who cares? Like, I mean, really, that's the way I look at it. Is like there's always going to be somebody out there that has an opinion about what you're doing or whatever. And it's like, really, I mean, there's plenty of people that don't like me, and it's just, that's life. I mean, you can't worry about that all the time, because if you do, like, you're just never going to do anything.
Yeah,
and like people, I think that like a lot of that type of community, because like there's like this like massive, like I think now especially there's like a massive like I don't really like using the word, but like kind of like cancel culture mentality, where like people are constantly waiting for like a streamer to say something that's like out of line so they can like clip it and go on a rampage against them.
Yep.
And I think that it's actually like kind of negatively affected like at least English Twitch, because like people are too afraid to do a lot of like fun things because they don't want to accidentally, you know, make somebody upset or mad or whatever.
I don't call it cancel culture anymore. I call it the toxic gossip train.
Yeah.
The toxic gossip train.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all heard about that?
No, but I
No,
think
he's talking about the Miranda Sings.
Did you see the Miranda Sings video?
Oh my god.
That's like a line in her her song.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Did she ever say if that was improv or like if she like wrote that whole 20-minute thing?
She for sure wrote it. For sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. Why? Do you like it? Do you want to get it on Spotify?
No, I mean I was just wondering. Because if it's improv, I mean, it's honestly kind of impressive.
Okay.
That was pretty good. I mean, sure. I mean, for improv, etc. I think that this is one of the very common things with like people that get quote canceled, is that whenever they do one thing, everybody looks back in the past and they see 50 other red flags that everybody just ignored. And I think with her, that was exactly what it was, where she was like getting like girls to go up on stage that were like underage and do weird stuff. Like she was like wearing blackface and like singing like Beyonce songs. She just like, and I watched the videos.
I don't even know about any of this. I've never watched it.
Like I don't know what, like this is just a, like who the fuck watches this? It's just so weird.
Let me clarify what Asmongold means by weird stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So she put a bag of cheese balls in her like underwear and made like a little kid reach for the cheese balls in her pants. Okay. And there's another one where she gets a girl to go on stage, puts her on her back, takes her legs, spreads them apart, puts her face near her vagina.
I don't think she did the last part, did she? Yeah, I think she
maybe it was just a spread legs.
Yeah, she just spread her legs, and it was facing away. It was facing the stage, so like it wasn't to the audience, like which makes it like I don't know, it's a 9 and not a 10 in terms of like the generosity. But
it was for a fart joke, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And then she would like, so the best part about it was that she would go into these group chats of people that were fans of her, and then
they're all kids, right?
Yeah, of all these kids, and trauma dump her like divorce like concerns and like fights. Yeah, she was like complaining about like her husband or like her boyfriend to this like 11-year-old.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's so creepy and weird, isn't it? It was nuts. Yeah, I couldn't even
Wasn't
believe
the
it.
thing that she was specifically called out for, she sent lingerie to like fans?
What the fuck?
I don't know exactly. I think it was.
I about that.
Yeah, that's just like what I heard. I don't want to say it's true in case it's not. But
I mean,
that's
knowing
what I
her, it
heard.
probably was, but you know, who knows?
I heard it was that she sent underwear to a fan.
That's fucking weird.
I watched like her do the Gangnam Style thing, and it was like 10 years ago. And it was her just like acting like a complete fucking idiot, like talking in like a weird way. And it was like, I would almost say that it was like racist against Asian people or like Koreans, but it was just so stupid that it's hard to even say that. Like it was just fucking, like, is this a racist or is this just a fucking moron? Like, I don't even know what this is. It was just like, there were so many layers of weird to it. And after looking at like everything that happened, I'm, you know, glad that people don't like her anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? Mark Zuckerberg challenges Elon Musk to a cage fight.
That's my son. He's not fighting and fucking up his face.
That's real? That happened?
Yeah, it happened.
The mom stepped in?
Yeah, the mom stepped in and was like, no, my son's not fighting. My little boy.
Wait, so Elon's a little bitch boy?
He's a mama's
To
boy.
be fair, like Mark Zuckerberg literally won a Brazilian jiu-jitsu tournament.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Like he would beat the shit out of him. It would not even be close.
Plus, I would say Mark Zuckerberg is for sure a lizard man.
And he's also like almost 20 years younger, 15, 20 years younger. So like there would just be no chance. And so now Elon has challenged Mark Zuckerberg to a dick measuring contest.
Wait, really?
Yeah, really.
I think Elon has the bigger dick.
I think so too. I mean, he's probably a taller guy. And so it just, you know, makes sense, etc. And that's probably why he challenged. That's why he started the challenge.
You ever seen Mark Zuckerberg smoke meats?
No.
Yeah.
You seen it?
Wait, what is this?
It was like some video he did for Facebook for, was it 4th of July?
I think so.
It was him like smoking ribs or something, and it was just like the creepiest, like most inhuman video.
Oh,
Do you think he does it on purpose, like he knows and he thinks it's funny?
No, 1,000,000% not. No, he is not human.
Wait, Jay, can we watch the smoke meats video? I'm pretty sure it's short. Isn't it pretty short?
There's cuts of it that are short, but the
Okay.
actual live stream is like 4
Yeah. Well, I think
Bro,
that-
look at that fucking thing. What is that?
I don't know. I just think he's probably a bit of a weird guy. What's wrong with this?
If you were to hear the audio, you know, I'm gonna send it to you.
Like
You can react to it on
smoke
stream. This shit is horrifying.
You can see the normal humans next to him.
Exactly. You can see the human skin peeled over
That's his wife.
the reptilian underlying layer. Look at his eyes.
I don't know. I don't feel like, I don't think the guy's really that weird.
You look at Mark Zuckerberg, you see a human?
Yeah, he's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it's whatever.
There's no way. Why is he so excited about meat and sweet baby Rays?
A lot of people are.
Look, he's got it in the pressure cooker. You're smoking these meats.
Yeah,
that's
I
sweet baby
really
Rays.
I don't think this is a big deal at all. Like I thought he was I thought he was an alien or a lizard too until like there was a leaked Facebook message where he called all the people that use Facebook fucking idiots because they gave him his information. And then after that, I was like, yeah, no, he's a real one.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
There's a saying where it says kill one to save millions.
Uh-huh.
Right? But if you also place one to control millions, I think that works.
So you think that he's been placed by like the powers that be?
Yeah, by like the reptile Illuminati, because like
I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, imagine how easy it would be.
Okay.
Right? You give these people positions of power. I mean, they're going to fulfill the reptilian agendas, and we're pretty much going to be used for livestock.
So
in,
have you
like,
been
20 years.
have either of y'all made Threads accounts?
Fuck no.
I have a Threads account. I made it, but I haven't tweeted on it.
Yeah.
Or I haven't threaded on it.
Yeah, I don't need a new social
Tweet
media
on your
account.
Threads account.
Yeah, when I heard there was a new social media, I was like, no, please. Are using it. Like for us, it's like we kind of have to pay attention since we're content creators. We're like, we don't have to, but it's good to. But I don't think it's really gonna go anywhere.
I looked it up today, and apparently it's had over 100 million signups in like 5 days, which is like crazy. It's the fastest ever. But the thing is that it's a lot of people that just have Instagram accounts.
Yeah,
that are
it's
moving over there.
easy. Like literally for me, all I had to do was press like a make Threads button, have the
Yeah.
app, and like that's it. It like
Yeah, it's
transferred
done.
all my stuff. Like I didn't even really sign up.
Do you start from zero?
Followers?
Yeah.
Anyone who makes an account, it gives you the option to follow everyone you're already following on Instagram. So I have 60,000 followers with no tweets.
I don't got no Instagram, bro. I ain't doing that shit.
I mean, to be fair, that's probably the best implementation they could do. Right?
Yeah.
That's pretty smart. To be
Yeah,
fair.
it was smart.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't made an account because, like, to me, I don't really give a fuck. Like, I just want to go on there. I don't care about any of this, like, drama or, like, the censorship
Mhm.
shit. Like, I just want to listen to what people have to say. And if it's bad, I can
Well,
block
Threads
them.
also like it gives you like an automated for you. It doesn't really let you control what you see. Like who you follow isn't necessarily what you'll see. And I think what
Fuck Threads.
they were doing is like they saw that Twitter was getting a lot of hate, so they're like, oh, we can take this chance. But they did the same thing with TikTok, with Instagram Shorts. I don't know if it's called, or Reels, when TikTok was like under threat of like being banned in the US or whatever. But I heard that they actually lost a lot of money on Reels because
They
it
did.
costs so much to host. So I don't really see like them having success trying to imitate Twitter because they already tried it with TikTok.
I don't think it's going to
And
happen
I feel
either.
like Reels makes more sense for Instagram than Threads does, so I don't really see it going
And
anywhere.
everybody's already made a Twitter account. People are
Yeah.
already ingrained on Twitter. Like, there's no reason to go somewhere else. Like, why do people, like, who's going to go to, like, another platform that just has more censorship and more rules?
Yeah, and the
like, you
For You
can't
page
post porn
sucks.
onto Threads.
Like every time I scroll through it, it's just
What's the point then?
To make money for advertisers. That's the reason.
I guess, bro.
Yeah, who cares? Like, why? Well, like, where's the value that the user gets?
Oh, speaking of value that's dropped considerably, the One Ring was found in Lord of the Rings packs. Imagine being Jimmy here?
Yeah.
He had like 40 booster boxes of the Lord of the Rings thing, getting ready to open them.
It didn't get found day 1 or day 2 as well.
First week or something?
Yeah, it got found really quick. The day before he was about to open was found. Ruined all of his content, man. I felt so bad for the guy.
Yeah, I saw people saying like, "Oh no way, it's even in circulation. They're gonna wait till everyone's bought all the packs and then they're gonna put it in circulation." Nope, it was just there
Yeah.
Yeah.
and found.
$2 million, is that right?
Apparently.
That's what people said.
Minimum, because Post Malone.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That is fucking crazy.
Yep. I want
A
to see.
card like that. That's $2 million.
I'm actually gonna look see if Post has it or not.
I bet it'll probably go up from there because there'll probably be other people that have a lot of money that like want to just like have it, you know, as like a collector item or something like that. Like, do either of y'all ever play Magic at all?
I played a fuck ton up to the Theros block.
Okay.
I can't get into card games.
Really? Oh shit. Like I only liked Magic. Like I never played any other card game besides that.
I played all of them.
You really?
I love them.
You play Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yep.
Ooh.
What the
Ooh,
fuck?
man. Like,
Yu-Gi-Oh was good.
I don't know, man. Like,
Dude, Yu-Gi-Oh during the Black
I love Yu-Gi-Oh.
Thing and X-Saber arc was peak. It was so. Then Mech Dragons came out and ruined the entire game. And Exceed summons, or what the Pendulum summons, what the fuck they're called. Pendulum, Synchros, Exceeds. Like, I can deal with XYZs and Synchros, that's fine. Whatever the fuck Pendulum was, there's weird shit where you put one monster forward, everything else back. It's just too much. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Was very good for a time. But my favorite, besides Blackwing, there's a card called Jinzo, Giga Chad.
Okay.
You put him on the board, your opponent and yourself cannot activate trap cards anymore. It was so sick. Because trap cards were the worst shit. The worst.
That's why I never played the game.
Yep, but Magic's always been good. And I don't think it's ever been bad, ever.
There were some times where like people weren't really super happy with it, and like players, you know, the amount of people playing it went down, but like they've done things to like renovate it and like keep it new.
Yeah.
Like I personally am not like really a huge fan of like the other collabs with other IPs because I feel like it kind of takes away from the immersion of the game. But like they've done really well. Like they did one with Walking Dead, they did one with Godzilla, and now they're doing Lord of the Rings.
They had Baldur's Gate as well.
Oh, are they Baldur's Gate?
Yep.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had a Minx and Boo, which is one of my favorite characters from Baldur's Gate. It's like this bald guy against a hamster. Super fucking dope. But no, Baldur's Gate collab was sick as fuck.
I was so glad whenever they found the One Ring, because it was like, now I'm not going to have to endure another card meta. Like I was so worried, like, oh God.
It's funny because I can't get into playing card games, but I like card metas. I love watching pack openings.
Really?
Yep,
I love it.
I've never watched a single one.
I love pack openings.
They're good, man.
Really?
Yep.
I think it's so fun.
I pulled a One Ring. It wasn't the rarest one.
Right,
It was the Borderless, but it was sick as fuck, bro. I love it, bro.
How much was it?
The rarest card I pulled was like $300-$400.
Okay.
Which is still great. It was a ring and it was written in Elvish. It was like a 1 in 9,000 chance.
That's pretty fucking good.
It was fucking dope. It happened on stream too. I was stoked as fuck. Apparently Miz was pissed, but Miz is angry at everything I do.
Did he get a good one at all? He got a good one?
I don't know.
I think he pulled a ring, but I don't know which one.
I think the difference is Miz spent like a lot of money and I spent like $200 because I bought 6 packs and then I just
You
got.
made money.
He made money?
No, so you made money.
Oh yeah, I made money. Yeah.
Each pack was like, how much was it?
$40.
$40 a pack?
Yep.
So a box is like $400 or $500.
It was a lot.
What up? Just watching videos and streaming.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, still
streaming on Twitch there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so
That was really weird because my
How's
stream was
it
fine.
from Gacha? At least
And then it started lagging for like an hour, and then it stopped. Like, what the fuck, man? And my upload speed's fine now. It's just weird. It keeps doing this shit with our internet. I bet it's the heat, man. It's so hot out. Can't keep up with anything. Everything's burning to a crisp.
The humidity. Or I guess that wouldn't really be a problem in Arizona.
Not really. No, we had a haboob last night, which is like the dust storms. So that was about it.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to fish.
Yeah, that sounds wild.
No, it was just dusty. I had to fish some stuff out of the pool because it was so fucking windy. And it weighed like
I was just joking because it was it's the opposite of what.
Yeah. Well, I made some stuff wet by throwing it in the pool. It's like instead of like a tornado, it's just like one big wave of wind carrying dust.
Yeah. Interesting. Sandstorm, pretty much.
Yeah, it's literally what it is, except it doesn't last that long. Probably like, I'd say like, anywhere between 10 minutes to an hour. Like if you look up like Haboob in Phoenix, you'll see like some crazy ass pictures.
it's just like, you get like something.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you just watched the Zeppelin
I
video,
can imagine
man.
it
You should know.
looks
The what?
The Zeppelin video.
Like, they get pretty big.
Oh yeah, taller than some of the damn buildings out here. They go all the way up to the sky.
No, like that. Yeah, that's what it'd be like. It'd be like a city horizon and like a giant wind thing of sand. Like it happens in Australia too, apparently, because they live on a desert.
Well, yeah, same with Africa.
Yeah. I've done a lot about this stuff from like Saudi Arabia and all that.
Well, yeah, I mean that's practically Africa. It's like Middle East. Ugh, gotta love it.
Video on
Oh
Gacha.
my God. Yes. Yeah, I saw that. Man, she really, man, that game really does something to you.
Yep.
Like, I think that, like, yeah, now I understand all those people on Twitter, like how they're getting mad and like acting nutty all the time.
Yep. Dude, I released a video this morning on how I do not believe you're going to play Genshin Impact.
Really?
Is it, want me to tell you why?
Why?
Because it is a waste of your fucking time.
Why is that?
It is not good enough for you to play it.
So you think it's just like it's a bad game that's like not worth playing?
You will enjoy it 0.
Okay.
We were talking
I
about
think
this
I
before
see
you
it
showed up,
streams ago. I was just
and I told him
listening
that
to
I
Halo
think that the
music.
story is
You what?
Listening to Halo music.
Oh, nice.
pretty good up until like Inazuma, and then after that, that's where I lost interest. But I don't know if it gets good again later.
No, I 100% agree. I think the story from the beginning, meeting Senora, and then the beginning of the Archon quest for Inazuma is so fun.
What
Yeah.
the,
Right?
I get like the worst.
There's way too much
Fortnite
bullshit.
ad.
Worse what?
Oh, yeah, I got like a Fortnite ad.
Oh.
That's that on stream. There's no way you're gonna sit through it. Not to mention, and I know you don't care. Your chat,
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, why are you skipping story? I'm not kidding you. Aranyaka Quest. Google this shit if you're on YouTube right now. Aranyaka Quest, full playthrough. It is 12 hours minimum for one unvoiced fucking quest. It's insane.
And I have to do that.
No.
Okay, well,
But
then
they're
fuck,
going to want you to do it. And so you have to do everything. You have to do all the quests. Don't skip the side quests. They're the best part.
I never do that. Like, I usually hardly ever do. Like, I've done like maybe 3 side quests in Final Fantasy, and that is it.
Yeah.
I never worry about side quests or any of that other crazy shit.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, the games that you've played.
Yeah.
You're not going to, you'll probably like Genshin. I mean, I would say high end maybe a 6.
Uh-huh.
But like, it's really not that good. Aranyaka, look at that shit. Aranyaka World Quest complete playthrough.
Oh my God.
11 hours. Yo, Jay, just play that for a little bit.
Please understand.
Yeah.
I love how the beginning of the video is
Could
a
be very
disclaimer.
overwhelming for
Yep.
some.
Yeah.
Look at
Oh
all
my
that.
God.
Yep.
And so is it worth doing? Is there like a massive payoff at the end where there's like a really cool cutscene or?
So here's the thing. Any answer I give, someone's going to get angry.
Yeah.
I was trying to
So
play
I'm
it as,
good.
like, a
Okay.
fade
Find out, man.
civilization where I just
Go do
blew
it.
up space totally. But I couldn't get enough space to get an industry going and kind of just withered out.
Okay. I was gonna play probably some games in my room, maybe a little bit. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. It's fucking hot in here. But I was playing.
Yeah,
I want.
like a movie.
Oh yeah, I got like 2 fans blowing in here in the AC unit. And then I wanna play the Stanley Parable. Shit looks hilarious.
That was cool, man.
It's supposed to be like really funny and paradoxical.
It's definitely a weird looking one.
It's not even like it's supposed to be.
Like a play on Portal almost.
It's a gag comedy game based off a paradox about this guy named Stanley. So like, obviously you've seen clips of it, right?
Yeah, I've seen little gameplay.
Yeah, I fucking watched some people play it. I was like, oh, I definitely want to play this game. It looks pretty funny. Like, there's so many different things you can do in the game that you don't even like realize that you can do. But like, it's you against the narrator, basically.
Nice.
Yeah,
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. What?
Oh, no, just you versus the narrator.
Yeah, I'm pretty looking forward to playing that. I want to make sure that my stream keeps up with me and nothing happens. So like that's the reason one of the reasons I've been watching a lot of videos while I'm streaming. Just to see, I'm like keeping an eye on my stream to see how well it's doing, because the fucking internet speed seems to keep changing throughout the day.
Of course.
I know, I'm very frustrated with it.
For yourself.
Yeah, you go do it. I realize no matter what I say,
Uh-huh.
people get angry when I talk about this game. No matter what I say. Doesn't that look epic?
Yeah, you know.
Dude. And I mean this genuinely.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say it ever again, but I'm going to say it 1,000 more times.
Okay.
Genshin would be so good if they just fucking killed Paimon and they like delete her from the fucking game.
Why? What's wrong with her?
Because
clinics up
Hey,
in
listen.
this Yep.
Your husband, nice socks.
Thank you.
Traveler. Did you hear what he just said? He just said that Asmongold had really nice socks. That's so cool. I wish he would say that about my socks too.
Wait, she does do that?
Man, that reminds me of a story when I was a kid.
Whenever she was she is a kid.
Yep.
What do you mean?
And she says the same shit that you already fucking know. You hear one thing, Paimon says it again. You hear one thing, Paimon says it again. Because it's a tool for little dumb babies who can't fucking read. And Paimon says, hey, in case you didn't know, this is what they say. And she just repeats it over and over and over and over again. They just need to fucking delete her from the game. Delete her from the fucking game.
I think like she's probably a character that like people either like her or hate her.
Yep.
Or love her or hate her.
Yep.
One of these days I'll actually play the game though. I don't know. I want to play it before 4.0. That way the new content comes out. I can play the new content, everything like that. I just don't know if I'll be able to catch up in time.
There's no way.
So it's just not going to happen.
You would have to start like today. Because like a Nakrit took him 700 hours to get caught up.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's how much there is.
And I have to do everything in order to play the new content?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then it'd be fine then, right?
Sure. But I will say Nakrit...
I thought you do. Because don't you have to finish one area to go to the next area?
Nakrit beat everything. Like everything in the whole game.
Yeah.
And his conclusion after 700 hours was, oh, the game's not good.
Really?
Yep.
I thought he said it was good.
No, he said it's a good story with bad storytelling.
I don't know. It's not awful. It could be a lot worse.
It's true. It could be worse, but like it's like Elden Ring lore. Like I would say, I would never. Once again, Elden Ring's one of my favorite games. I would never want to play Elden Ring and try to go through the lore myself. I would rather just go on to YouTube.
I feel the same way, bro. When I
need to espionage some.
Espionage what?
I'm gonna go spy for this game. Just keep an eye on everybody.
Do it.
Yeah, there's these fanatic purifiers, which is pretty much Imperium of Man from Warhammer 40k. If you're familiar with that concept. They just got out of the modern age and they're just sitting there in their one system. You can let them grow a little bit. I don't think they'll get that strong. They'll just kind of handle all the problems up north and take all the hits for me. And if I ever want to just take over everything, I'll just stomp at them first.
Those games and people are like, please read the item. It's like,
no.
I don't want to read every item and figure out what this means. I'm just going to go watch a YouTube video about it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
and that makes it way more enjoyable.
Like,
it's like I play the game's fun, then I watch the video, it's like, oh wow, so that's what was happening. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's like, for this game, the story is great when it's told outside of the game, and the combat is fun when the game lets you do the combat.
Right.
But the problem is that it doesn't let you do the combat, and the other problem is you actually have to sit through this fucking story. It's probably way better for just casual players, but as a streamer, it is fucking horrible.
I think what it is they're trying to like draw out the length of the game because it's like this much content. They're trying to stretch into this much content, you know?
Yeah.
So they just want things to take a little bit longer to make people feel like they're more involved or whatever.
Yeah, so that there's more going on.
Yep.
They're like more invested and addicted to the game.
Now, I will
you could be
say,
right about that.
Here's what's cool about the comics. I made a video about how I just don't think that the game is worth your time at all. People really want you to play.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think people want me to play because they either want me to completely shit on the game or completely love the game. Like, I like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, there's no way you
What's the area after Mondstadt where Hu Tao is and Ganyu?
Liyue.
I feel like he could play to Liyue and have like the gist of the game.
I agree.
And that's like the first two areas.
I don't know. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it's people are trying to like min-max me, tell me like what to do. I don't know. I think I'm just going to try it out one day and, you know, let people know like a week ahead of time. That way everybody's, you know, able to watch it. And then just try the game out and see what happens.
I do think
I don't want to make a big deal out of it too much.
I do think you should be free to play. I know you don't want to, but I do think you should be free to play.
Why is that?
Because the game's combat just loses all because this happened to my account. It's just not fun. Like when you wail, you obliterate everything. There's zero challenge at all. You don't have to think. Like it's
really?
Bad. Oh yeah, it's bad.
Well, I mean, like, is it? Because I thought that like the Abyss and everything is actually like pretty hard. Like that's like the hardest content, right?
Well, Tectone also like was Giga Whale.
Yeah,
like I mean, I was like a medium whale. Like I probably spent like this medium whale like 1K.
Yeah,
and I would struggle.
Okay.
I mean, I would play every day, and I spent 6 figures. Right. I could beat the Abyss like with a blindfold on. And that's not like a joke. Like I have a video on YouTube of me beating the Abyss with a blindfold on.
Because it's that easy? You have that much gear?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, people who are complaining are free to play and like they casually play, but any player who actually consistently plays should not have a challenge with it.
Well, shit. Okay.
My opinion.
I don't know. I might try and do it as free to play. I just don't really know yet.
I think it's fine to whale, like have some 5-star characters, but then if you like go all the way, then it's probably too easy.
That's how it is with Honkai Star Rail. Like everything is fucking easy.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't
100%.
matter.
Yeah, that's why I didn't whale at all. Like that's why. But yeah, if you go Genshin, just go for Constellation 0. Just don't go C6, please.
No, I agree. I never went for any constellations, and the game was so challenging for me.
I kind of would want to play it and just wail and get all the really good characters and then just shit on a game and be like, wow, this shit's so easy. I'm so good at the game.
Okay, then do that then.
Yeah, that's 100% what
Because
I would
that
do.
is what will infuriate. Well, they're gonna get angry at anything.
Yeah.
I guarantee this video is gonna be clipped and be like, look what he fucking said this time. It's so fucking annoying.
Oh
man.
yeah, I showed like one of my characters on Honkai Star Rail because I have Lucha at like level 80 with like, full maxed out gear and everything. And people were just malding about it, right?
Yep.
Like all of the traces leveled up. You're like, yeah, guys, winners win.
Yep.
And it's like people are like, oh, fuck you, payers pay. Fuck you, you suck. Yeah.
Wait, is that a thing?
No, I think somebody said that.
Payers pay.
Maybe. I think it's
I've
funny.
never seen that. That is so funny.
Clever, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
They should use that.
You
I don't know.
guys trying to bail high a little
It's.
bit?
I think that's kind of the fun in like playing games like that is to like my goal whenever I play a game. It sounds stupid, but I try to make the game look like as big of a joke as possible. Like I want to make the game look like absolute garbage that nobody wants to play.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Well
Also,
hard.
I noticed a lot of like game reviewers that are more like content creators do. Like Donkey does that too. He'll like
Yeah.
only show like bugs from games.
Yeah,
and
this
people get
stupid
so
shit.
mad.
Yep.
Dude, then if you ever want to
Oh shit, it's Kai Kai.
How's your day been going, anyways?
It's been pretty good. Pretty good. Nothing like really crazy or exciting, but nothing bad. So I'm gonna count that as a good day.
It's a good day going down to my house, eating bacon and some eggs and some pancakes on the side.
Holy shit.
That sounds like a song for obesity.
You mean protein?
Pancakes do not have protein.
I mean, what's it called? Yukon. I think that's what, no.
It tastes like shit, but yeah, I actually had those.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they're trying really hard and they're not really pulling it off.
I like them, but I also make them differently. I don't just make pancakes out of them. I put like, berries in it and peanut butter and all kinds of other shit. I make them all fluffy. Put an egg in it too. I do all kinds of shit with it. I get creative with my pancakes.
Cool.
Yeah, man. And if there's anything I can cook, it's breakfast.
Yeah.
I don't do well with dinner, apparently. Ah!
Unless you're doing breakfast for dinner. Which is pretty good also.
I do like grilling. I used to grill a lot.
try the Abyss, you can go on my account anytime.
Okay.
And be like, oh, okay, guys, so people told me the Abyss was going to be pretty hard, so I borrowed my buddy's account. Just eviscerate it.
Yeah. Be like, yeah, I don't really know how the game plays, so like we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
Wow, I used this ability. Damn, so the boss is dead? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so what's it's over. Oh.
Great chance. Which means it can just never just not crit.
Yeah.
And then it has near 300% crit damage.
Jesus.
So every hit is like razor blades. But it ruined the game because my artifacts are too good and my characters are too good. That's what I mean. You only don't like if your game's too good, and all right. But like, I mean, they let me do that, so I mean, shit, don't put it in the game.
Yeah,
then, I
it's
guess.
your fault that you just played the game.
Yeah, I know, my bad. I wanted to support the company. My bad, guys. Jesus
I've been
Christ.
going hard in my
Oh, I'd love to actually.
solo world.
Here we go. This is from
And
the
it's going
Stick
pretty well.
Nick. Truly a spark to my Fridays. The
I
Steak and
haven't
Eggs
found a
podcast has
boss
kept me
yet,
sane
though.
these last 6 weeks. I've been dieting for a bodybuilding show that's coming up in 2 weeks.
Shit.
Dude, good luck, man. Having this
Oh,
show to look
yeah.
forward to every Friday makes
Yeah.
every week that much easier.
Yeah, no, the next
P.S.
boss is bone mass.
Who's the other dude and girl with Asmongold?
That's probably not even where we are.
Such a beast.
Oh yeah.
Like, even this
Yeah, I know. P.S. Who's that other guy? Yeah, I don't know.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
The third guy on Steak and Eggs, the loud guy.
Dude, do you know how many
Yeah.
people come to watch my Dark Souls stream from Steak and Eggs?
A lot, probably.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
The
Makes me
amount of
happy.
steak and eggers in fucking my chat last night was insane from Dark Souls. That made me so happy.
That's sick.
Hey, saw you on the podcast, man.
Didn't you say that like all of them were making you mad though?
Yeah, last night. The
Oh,
first
okay.
night was horrible. Last night
Okay.
was actually, it was so
I'm sure
wholesome.
Asmon already has this, but for me and you, I think we are cultivating like a Souls community because I get people who always come to my chat and are like, "Are you gonna play a Souls game today?"
That's exactly why I'm playing
It's
Dark
nice.
Souls 1.
I
Dude,
like
I'm
it.
telling
I
you-
like it.
telling you, Dark Souls 1, level 1.
Mm-hmm.
How cool would that be?
Maybe I'll try when I'm done with Sekiro, but I want to play Elden Ring too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would play new games first and then
Yep.
try.
Yeah.
But I feel like that would be insane.
All right. Well, gentlemen, we've had a good show. We've had a good time. And I
Yeah, make
believe
some
it is time
food
for us to call
anyways,
the
yeah,
episode. So thank you all very much for watching. As always, make sure to check out our Patreon. We've got it in the link below. And you can look at all that stuff, more
All the
exclusive
Valheim
content
stuff
and
is
everything
making me
like that.
hungry.
But It's been another episode. You guys had fun?
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Good time. All right, gentlemen. Thank you all very much for watching. And until the next time, peace.
Then you turn and you look at me. There's a little glimmer that I can see. A sparkle in your eyes. It makes me realize all we need is you and me. A light shines from your eyes. It brightens any cloudy day. And I find your light shine.
How they say like, oh, you can have like 200 friends and acquaintances.
Yep.
You can cut that. It was like 25% of that for me.
Oh no, 100%.
Like I just can't. Like I can have like maybe like 6 to 8 friends at a time.
I totally get that.
I like sitting in my house by myself.
Yep.
And so that's how I've always done things, and I think that works pretty well. Like every once in a while, it's nice to go out and interact with people, but it's also nice to go home.
Yeah, I like interacting with people. I just don't have a lot of like close friends.
Yeah.
If I didn't have my cats, I would not be at my house.
Mhm.
I love meeting people way too much.
Really?
Yeah, and every day I realize that more and more and more and more. Now the problem is that I have an issue where a lot of people are not good at talking, like at all. And I have like this rule. Sometimes you ever see I think his name's Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. He has this clip where like he reaches towards somebody's chest and then he grabs it and he pulls their fucking soul out of their body.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes it feels that way when I'm having conversation with certain people. So I have this rule where if I ask someone 3 questions in a row and they don't ask me a question back, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Oh. Interesting. Alright, I am done for now. I will be back later. Fun, you guys. Maybe I will stream the Stanley Parable soon, and then I'll finish the other 2 games I started. Or 3. Let me know. That's why I'm here. I wanna figure out what to stream and I don't know. Do whatever, man. I just like having fun. Alright, guys.